on. You can see me. I don't know. I don't know what I forgot. I definitely forgot something because I can sense it. Tuesday, I was in sort of like a rush. I just went to the bathroom. I got a drink, and I just did a class. So I feel like I've forgotten something. I just have no idea what it is. The microphones. Oh, I didn't check the microphone settings, which are only wrong about 4% of the time. So if they're wrong this time, that's what I did wrong. Now they're right. When I say they're wrong, it's the volume changes and goes way down without me doing anything. Then I fix it. So. Let's see. Ben Johnson. I'll wait for you people to show up. Then struggling to get Zoom, but I can't. Yeah, that happens. All right. Text that I didn't read the last 2 hours. So if you've been following what's been going on, although nobody's saying anything, and I didn't get a notification, so I guess I won't talk yet. No talking. Let's see. Borat. Somebody likes this. Somebody hates that. We voted. All right. Now it says I'm on. I'm on. Good job, Twitch. And then I got some basil rolls. Don't forget the basil roll. It's so easy to forget. I ordered some soup and basil rolls like 2 hours ago, and after I ate the soup, I wasn't hungry. So now I'm hungry again. But Karen gets to steal a basil roll. That's how the marriage works. You're barely awake. Yeah, we're going to do your game first, but I have to find your game, which isn't easy because there's a billion games here. We delete all the stuff that I looked at, but there's still a billion games. So that's what happens. Yeah. I'll basically just spend the whole stream looking for your game with Kamsky. I saw a post that you made, but it wasn't your game with Kamsky. It was you're talking to somebody.
Okay,
no. Yeah. I still can't find this post. There it is. No, bye. You were just you were just telling somebody something, so that wasn't your post. 1 billion game. Here it is. Here's my game with Kamsky. 20 plus 60. I was black. All right. Hopefully it says the PGM doesn't work because that'll make it funny. Okay, and then here, and then here, and then here. Okay, and then let's see. FFL Kamsky, not a FFL Kangaroo. Womsky, also good. What would Chomsky have to say? Okay, and then you were black. Okay, now I can look at the stream again and get yelled at. All right, let's see. First I have to, I can't refresh yet. You're barely awake. I'm barely a GM, so that's good. Coffee, hello, basket, it's Ben, lemons. Watched Karen Gingy lecture, now here. Karen. Do mine. More Simpsons. Chada. I have no idea. Nice. All right. Now I can refresh. The games are done in order unless they're not. And it's not because hey, do my game. It's because you donated $100. And that's about the only reason why. Okay. Otherwise, there's just an order to the games. So, yeah, if you ask me to look at your game in the chat, you're banned. Especially if you're a moderator. Yay, a basil roll. Nom, 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 chomp, see, chomp, chomp, chomp. All right. Good job, Kangaroo. We're actually out of Perrier, and we have 30 bottles of this tea. So, I guess that's what I'm going to eat the next few days. Yay, Crasher George. Well, I have an empty Perrier bottle from like 4 days ago. That's pretty good. So, I talked to my mom on the phone today. When I visited my mom in the ICU, she was just asleep on a ventilator, I would say with about 10 IVs in her. It was about 10. Yeah. And I was there for 3 days, and she didn't open her eyes or talk. She can't talk because of the ventilator. Or acknowledge I was there or anything. Then, we found the cure. I left. So the day that I left, later that day when I drove back here, she opened her eyes. The next morning, she got off the ventilator, and then she started talking. That all happened in the last 48 hours, and they moved her from the ICU to a regular room. And then I talked to her on the phone today, and she talked to me. So I guess me leaving cured her. I guess I'm the cure. I just leave. Probably next week, Spencer and I both go down there and visit. But, they're always moving her from one hospital to another, to a nursing home. I don't know. Maybe she'll be the president next time I visit. I don't know. Anyway, so that's good. You're the first one here except for one thing. All right. So, yeah, that's good. Couldn't talk to her when I was there. She didn't see me and didn't know I was there, but, I was there. Okay, Kangaroo is playing a 20-minute game with some kind of increment. 60-second increment, I guess. I think that's what 20 plus 60 means. Okay. Kangaroo also points out that Kamsky offered a draw because he had another event to go to. So that's sort of weird. And it was a simul, right? No, she doesn't have any COVID, no. It's just other stuff. ZZYZY Man is continuing the gifted sub from Dominic. Yay. We have a train. Casper VLD is gifting a sub. Hopefully some of you saw my lecture on Ginger Hashvili, which I just finished. It was almost an hour, not quite. And we talked about him a lot because I know him personally. And then we looked at some of his games and some positions and so forth. Okay, back to whatever it is I was doing. Thanks, Grungewart. Hello to Indiana. Okay. So Kamsky versus Kangaroo. I play Bishop G4 in this position. I've had black in this position many times. Okay. Well, A3 is a pretty passive move. Kamsky likes to do that. He doesn't like to allow Bishop B4 check. Okay. Bishop G3 I like. Good. 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 Rook E8's a little strange. Knight E4 is probably makes more sense. Rook E8's okay. Takes. Bishop B5. Yeah, this is why Rook E8 isn't the best, because I think Bishop B5 is a little annoying. Okay, so white's a tiny bit better, so Gada's happy. It's playing like Gada. Knight E4, good, I like that. Takes is good. Bishop takes is good. I don't like Bishop takes C6, because Gada could build the pressure up with Rook C1. So I'm actually surprised by that he didn't play Rook C1. That he just messed up your pawns here. Then he played Rook C1. Aha. So Gada must have thought you would take this. And now the engine says after GF, white is better. And I'm sure Gada didn't want to do that. Gada just wanted to play here, but he can't do that because of this. That's why Gada took the knight first. He didn't want to play G takes F. The engine doesn't mind playing G takes F, but Gada didn't want to do that. That's why Gada took this first. Okay. Rook C1. Now Rook B8's an excellent move. And this is how you beat good players, is if you do things that are strategically suspect, but tactically interesting, since you're a lower rated player, much lower rated, they're just going to assume that guy's no good. I'm going to strategically crush him. And if you're a good player, top 10, top 20, top 30 in the world, then Kamsky is going to be like, the guy's ruining his pawn structure for activity. He thinks the activity is more important So I better watch it. I better do some good analysis here. And this happens to everybody. If I'm playing a 1300 and they do something which might be suspect, I'm like, yeah, that's no good. They're 1300. But if 2300 does it, I'm like, haha, look at all this counterplay he has. So that's what happened here is God is messing up your pawn structure and giving you the B file. But he's just like, I'll stop Kangaroo's counterplay and then I'll win. But the engine says no. It says black's doing fine here. You got the two bishops. Your rook's on the open file. You castled and he didn't. So double pawns, schmubbled pawns. Doesn't matter. 1300, 1200, Yay, it's Maurice. I missed it. Go Maurice. Grandmaster Maurice Ashley about a week ago, started streaming, and he already is more popular than I am. Why did it take you a week? It should have been like a day or two. And we're getting our first raid from Maurice. I've known Maurice Ashley since before all of you were born. I'm not even sure Maurice was born yet. He's older than me. And let's see, which one of my weddings? Hold on. Maurice was at my second wedding. He was the only grandmaster in attendance. It was in Vegas, and he had a cup full of coins, but he had to leave them outside. They couldn't bring the coins into the wedding. So hopefully he got them back. Anyway, Maurice has been doing a lot of work lately, especially for the St. Louis Club. He's been doing commentary for the U.S. Girls Championship, the U.S. Junior Championship, the U.S. Senior Championship. Today's a rest day, so of course Maurice doesn't rest, he streams. And then tomorrow he's doing the U.S. Women's Championship, and then followed by the U.S. Championship. It's possible he's taking one of those events off, although I doubt it. So, hey Maurice, welcome to the streaming world. Go Maurice. Some people call him Maurice, that's right. Yeah. Trying to learn, give 100 centidues, thank you. So we have a huge raid from Maurice. Unlike the Charlotte Chess Center, raiding the wrong name. Not Maurice. Maurice just starting to stream, but he knows how to raid. That's why he's a grandmaster. And, Charlotte, right. Played the Jizza. I've played the Rizza. So somehow we'll have to meet in the middle. That's right. Yeah. Well, welcome to the streaming world. And let's see, Hype Train success. We made it all the way to level 2. Wow, you guys are real good. All right, thanks for the huge raid, Maurice. I hope your streams go well. Hope you enjoy it. I stream every day unless, something happens. Something happens sometimes. Like I'm sleeping. Yeah. Bradford donated 500 centidues. Go Bradford. Maurice Ashley not only is streaming Seth, he just raided me 2 minutes ago with 400 people. Yeah, he started streaming last week. He's not busy enough. He has to have a day off, so I have to stream. Yeah, exactly. We demand Wu-Tang Bughouse. Wu-Tang Bughouse is nothing to mess with. Okay, and assuming things go as they should, which doesn't mean that they will, I'll be on Chess TV from 9 to 11 tonight. Yeah. Okay, so for those of you who just joined us from Maurice's stream, what I've been doing lately, 3 or 4 days a week, if not more, is analyzing viewer games. Then they leave huge donations, and then I eat basil rolls with the huge donations. Okay? So, Kangaroo, who's not a famous legend, is black in this game. I wasn't talking about you when I said 1300. I was just saying 1300 in general. Obviously, you're very, very slightly better than that. I mean, you drew Kamsky. So this is a simultaneous exhibition, 20-minute, 60-second increment that our favorite moderator from Germany, Kangaroo, played against Kamsky. Kamsky played b4, and you played the excellent a5, which refutes b4. Now you're better. And Kamsky's like, man, that's no good. Kamsky was hoping you would never play a5 and just defend this weakness. That's what he was hoping. But you were like, nah, man. So he castled because he has to. Now you have the advantage. Good. And here, this pawn is super duper weak. It's indefensible. Conversely, this pawn is defensible. So in this position, you could play queen d7, Or you could take his knight first, then play queen d7, then go to work on the Holmesier with a pair of pliers and a blowtorch. Okay, but instead you just took, which is okay. But now it's getting closer to equal. Closer. Rook takes c6. I still prefer black. You got the two bishops. Your bishop on e4 is a monster. You're kicking his rook. Kick it. Bishop takes d6. Interesting move. The rook is hanging on b4, so you have to take it. And the rook moved to safety. Now, problem with white's position is it's very difficult to get this knight somewhere good. You can't go to e5, can't go to c5. When my opponent has a white squared bishop, I'm thinking e5 and c5. But because of the double pawns, the knight doesn't have any of these squares to go to, so the knight really can't do anything. So this looks like a draw. Because even though white has a better pawn structure in theory, your minor piece is better. The rook on f1 is not very active. Your rooks are good. All the pawns are sort of on the same side. So the game should be a draw. The engine slightly prefers black. But the fact that you got counterplay with rook b8 and a5 shows that you're at least 1301 strength. Minimum. Minimum. All right. I think somebody donated 500 centidues earlier, so I'll have to have another bite. You played rook c4. That's legal. Now, I mean, I wouldn't do that, but, it's okay. So, when I'm analyzing games or talking to low-rated players, they're showing me their games, I have some kind of interaction with the lower-rated player without using a powerful telescope, which is the way I normally like to do it. When you see moves like rook c4, especially in blitz chess, but even sometimes not, for some reason, they have a compulsion to just trade everything. They can't help it. They think they're playing checkers. Now, rook c4 is an excellent move if white takes it. Then black takes and has a pass c-pawn and undoubles his pawns. And obviously white's not going to take it. When I say obviously, if I'm watching two low-rated players play, they always take it. They just can't help it. Kamsky played the obvious move, knight d2, attacking everything. All right, putting the question to black. Thanks for the raid, CL Smith. You're the best. You would get a pass pawn if he took it. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so you traded, still equal. CL Smith subscribed. Good, good. Queen a3. Queen c7, fine. h3 getting lift. Queen c3, fine. Fine. It should just be a draw. White's probably better here because with the pieces on the board, this bishop is very aggressive. And maybe black could get an attack. Now I'm not worried about getting attacked if I'm white because there are no pieces on the board. Now I'm more worried about back rank mate and doubled isolated pawns. 1,000 centidues from Codex. Go Codex, but stay there. Yeah. Super mega ultra cheer. Wait, what? I don't get it. Yeah, what you said. Yeah. Okay, so now white's better because with all the pieces getting traded, we see the weaknesses of the isolated D pawns. When there's a lot of pieces on the board, we just see that black is really active. Okay, king f8, engine agrees. g4, gaining some space. The engine's always agreeing. Knife f1. Engine doesn't like that move very much. Knight g3 it likes. King f6 is okay, I guess. Always repeat. Good job, Gata. He repeated. Very good. Okay, and obviously a drawn ending, although if you've seen the game, which I'm sure you have, between Ponomarev and Magnus Carlsen from about 9 years ago, Magnus won with this pawn structure 4 against 4. The Ponomarev pawn eventually got weak. Eventually, Ponomarev lost a pawn, and eventually he lost. So white is better here because white can't really lose any pawns, but these pawns could all get attacked and maybe you could lose them. So the engine prefers white. Engine doesn't like f5, and it wants him to take on f5, and black can't take with the king because his pawn's hanging, has to take with the pawn, and then he's got these 3 weak pawns to defend. So white's obviously better here. Kamsky played a different way with h5, putting it in h. The engine doesn't like that move as much. This was Gada's plan to mess up your pawns. And in this position, only an engine would play this move. Maybe like if Magnus had an hour on his clock, he would play it. King e7 is the move, and that's impossible to play. And the reason is you just don't want to lose this pawn. And if king f4, this pawn is not defended, and the king's moving away from the passed h pawn. And if the king goes towards the passed h pawn, it's hanging all these pawns. And after f6, you just play king e6, which is funny. And if f7, your rook can come back and stop the pawn, although h4 check is better, because the king has to defend here. Otherwise, the rook takes all the pawns, and the engine just says this is a draw, which makes sense to me. The king is defending the pawn, and the rook's going to win this one. A king e7 is like impossible to find. Probably Gada would have been shocked if you went here, and that's probably why he played h5. He thought this gave him a big advantage, and it does. Okay, now he's got a passed pawn, and you have 3 weak pawns, so this is good winning chances. You played excellent h4, trying to win this pawn, and actually, I'm surprised here the engine actually takes this pawn, and it gives this as being better for white, because white's going to play rook e5 and try to wrap this up. Yeah. So obviously white has great winning chances here, 2 passed pawns. Okay. I would say winning, the engine just says +1. So actually Gada should have taken this pawn. He played king g2, which does seem more logical. But now h3 is good, very good. And the difference is, if white plays the exact same way and tries to win this pawn, the king isn't on h4, the king's on h3, so black gets to take the pawn first. So after h3, he can't take it, he played king g3. That's correct. King g5 is correct. And again, this is probably a draw. Probably. Yeah, Gada can't play king g3 or king h3 because you check and take. He has to go to the back rank. Ooh, I don't like that move at all. Wow. Okay. Woo. That's the worst move you played in the game, and then some. You need your rook on the 7th rank. That cuts off his king on the back rank. It doesn't even matter where you move your rook. Move your rook somewhere in the 7th rank, then push your h-pawn on your king. And then the engine just says white's not even better, because your rook is cutting his king off. His king is nothing. And that just says that's a draw. Whoa, you put your rook in front of his pawn. Ooh. Ooh, that's not good. His king can do the song about the sweet loving woman and the song about the knife, and it does the walk of life, recommended by Nigel Short. And your rook's not good in front of the pawns. Rook's got to be here. So now you're probably losing. Yeah, definitely losing now. Okay, rook here, rook check. And this is where you guys agreed to a draw because Gada had to leave and do something else? Yeah, this doesn't look good. This looks most likely lost. It's not dead lost. There's drawing chances. But, for example, if your king goes back, the engine says he's like +4. So you have to move, king here and stop his pawns. I mean, I'm guessing this is a technical win, but yeah, if he had to go, he had to go. So well done. So basically, you were very, very, very slowly outplayed that game from a better position. You were like 0.2 better, then 0.1, then equal, then you were worse, then you were equal again. But I mean, in the end game, Gada's real good. So yeah, in a simul, if Gada can get a much better ending, without a lot of counterplay, that's a gotta kind of position. Yeah. Lancer Ulysses subscribe with Prime. That's the cheapest way to subscribe. Spencer gave 700 centidues. We must be giving Spencer too much salary. 700, wow. Are we going to ask Hassan to play Among Us? And when rejected, you can say you didn't ask. What's he talking about? All right, nonsense in the chat as usual. Yeah, well, Kangaroo's too good. All right, so we got donations, we got drawing Kamsky, we got, the guy had to go do something else, etc. So very interesting game where the weaknesses of Black's doubled pawns were outweighed by Black's activity, and as Goddess started trading everything off, which started with Kangaroo playing Rook c4, then Black just had weaker pawns and Black was slightly worse. And then, that's the truth hurts. Yeah. Mepex, 55.55. Now, I've never seen that donation. I always see 5,000, and it's that blue emerald thing that never ends. So I'm going to stop the stream for like an hour so I can just stare at that. Oh, man, that's awesome. Thanks, Mepex. A Persic 3092 subscribe. Thank you. I like that blue. I like the red one because it's more money, but the blue one's nice too. Yeah. 500 centidues. No, this could have ended in a draw. The more that I let the engine sit, the more it likes White's position. But I must say the last 5 moves, Kamsky hasn't done anything. He's just moving in a circle. He hasn't shown how to win. I'm guessing if this was Kamsky in his prime, and he's playing a slow game against a super grandmaster, he would win. But Kamsky's a legend, and you don't become a legend unless you're old. So, Kamsky's in his 40s. He's playing other people, got other stuff to do. Maybe he wouldn't have won. I don't know. He definitely didn't prove he was a much better player than you that game. Although I'm guessing if you gave a simul, Kamsky might do better against you. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, 1302 minimum. Yeah, famous. He's a famous legend. Right. Okay, go scam train. We already had a scam train. All right, so we have to delete this. All right, now it is trying to learn here or somebody else of note. Because my question is there some huge donor or some reason I should look at a game out of order or just start at the beginning? I'm going to start at the beginning unless trying to learn says, oh, no, you got to do this, you got to do that. You did it with the wiffle ball bat. That's actually funny. All right. Go in order. Yes, sir. Spencer put a game up? Really? No wonder he donated. Yeah. What's going on here? Man, there's so many games. Jesus Christ. All right. I'm going to look at Spencer's game because he gave 700 centidues and he's my son. What game is this, Spencer? Give us some info. Was this a game you played? What color were you? Etc. Mainly, etc. Go, Spencer. This is the game Go versus Spencer. Yay. Go, Spencer. Oh, I know this game. Just looking at the last move, I know the game. All I see is the last move, and I already know the game. It's your game with... It's obviously in the chat already, but I'm not going to look at the chat. Spencer's white, and you're playing like WIM or WGM. I forgot. Is she the one that was dating Georg Meyer? I think so. I forgot her name. Oh, well, I'll look in the chat and Spencer will tell me. Oh, it's not the Ina game. Oh. Ina Agrest. Oh, it isn't the Ina Agrest game. What game is it? It's not the Ina Agrest game? I was 1950, he was 2050. All right. See, I looked at one move. Is this a slow game, Spence? Is this in real life? Jalen Ding. That name is really familiar. Yeah. Slow game. Okay, this is Spencer in a slow game in real life against Jalen Ding, who's a local kid who plays in St. Louis. Okay, G3 Kings Indian, like every Botvinnik tall game ever played ever. Good. I mean, C6 and Queen C7. I mean, I'm a grandmaster. I can't be looking at moves like that. Very passive, so white's better. Good. D2's okay. E3's a bit passive, but still better for white. Rook AD1's good. H6 I don't like. Spencer played A3. He wants to play B4. The engine really hates A3 because in this position, after E4, it wanted Spencer to play knight G5 and attack the E-pawn 1 billion times. So after H6, now that's not the case. So now the engine wants to do something about E4. Either move the queen, so the knight can go to D2, play knight H4, which I would never consider, or play knight E1, which I would never consider. And Spencer just ignored H6. And now the engine says E4, black's doing really well. I'm not sure if I agree with that, but it likes... The point is, this pawn's not easy to defend. So if we play a normal move, this very strange knight B6, which is always bad in the King's Indian, I mean, A4 is going to be annoying because of the way these pawns are. So A4 is a positional threat, and it already likes black's position. So that's unusual that black would play E4, knight B6, A4. I've never seen such a thing. So when black played H6, I would assume he was thinking E4, you can't play knight G5, but I assumed wrong. So there you go. Maybe I should assume something else. Okay, so he played knight H7, so that was why he played H6. And the engine says, no. Then you took, which is good. He took back. Then you played knight E4. So you're punishing knight H7. And this is why Spencer's a good player, because to be a good player in chess, there's two things you have to do. You have to have a reasonable idea of what you want to do, and then you have to change your mind when your opponent lets you do better stuff. And the second one is stuff that you guys don't do. You guys are like, I want to do this. Then your opponent hangs mate in 1, and you're like, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do this. Now, Spencer could never play knight E4, even dream of it. But then his opponent played knight H7, and Spencer's like, well, you gave up E4. Now I can play knight E4. 1999. Thanks, Hans Superman. So Spencer punished knight E7 by playing knight E4, activating his bishop, the weak here, and the guy just didn't see that coming because the guy was like, I'll play knight H7, I'll play F5, I'll play knight G5, Papa John's, right? And since he was in St. Louis, probably even worse than what I just said, he might have been thinking like Cecil Whitaker's or Emo's. Oh my God. I just ate. Horrible. If you've never had Emo's or Cecil Whitaker's, you don't know how bad pizza can be. You don't even understand. Like Pietro, he's from Italy, and he was watching my class. If he's here now, he'll be like, I don't understand. What is this terrible pizza you mean? It would be really bad for him. Yeah. Horrible. Oh my God. Terrible. Detroit pizza's great. Thank you. Horrible. Emo's, horrible. Okay. So let me tell you how bad it is. Just a sec. I have the joke. I just can't think of the guy's name. Tubin. God. How can I forget his name? Let me tell you how bad Emo's is. Jeffrey Tubin went into Emo's, kept his pants on. That's how bad it was. Man, terrible. What's that name? Runamucker. Yay. Man, the reaction that I was expecting is not. Okay, now, the engine says bishop f8 is the best move, but it always says that. It's always play bishop f8. Trying to control d6 a little. Your opponent ignored that. Now you have a lot of good moves because his position's terrible because somehow this knight got the e4 square and this knight's over here. Terrible. Queen d6, very good. Excellent move. And again, every game, every stream, I say the same thing. When you guys see this move, you think this is the only legal move. It's like, I got to take. Okay? The engine doesn't even look at that move. Your opponent played the engine move, rook a7. Okay, defending his queen. Now you played a move which the engine likes somewhat, but I wouldn't play it. But the engine thinks it's fine. You played knight h4, opening up for your bishop and making f5 less palatable for him because g6 is even more hanging. g5, you have knight f5. So you're sort of stopping these pawns. You're unleashing your bishop. And maybe later in the game you'll play f4, but I doubt it. Okay, he's set up for the next game. Knight b8. Engine doesn't like that. The engine actually does like f4 here. Wow, that's amazing. Okay, you played c5. I like that move. He took, ruining his pawn structure. Okay, this is just great for white. I mean, look terrible. Look at that. Terrible. Every piece terrible and terrible pawn structure. Conversely, white piece is great. Okay, arrows everywhere. Okay, knight a6 attacking your queen, but the knight's bad on a6 because it can't go anywhere and it weakens the c pawn. This is what I call a low-rated player's move. 999. Thanks, Kangaroo. This is the move that's attractive to a low-rated player because it attacks a queen. Then when the queen moves away, they're like, why is my knight on a6? Why is my c pawn more hanging than it used to be? So knight a6, not a strong player wouldn't play that. Grandmaster would be like, well, my knight's terrible there. Why am I going there? Okay, bishop e6 is good. You did play f4. Okay, good. Rook b8 is legal. It attacks this. Okay. Now, you made a defensive move, and probably I would have made the same move, Spencer, but the engine says f5 is really strong. It doesn't care about this at all. And it says after takes, knight takes, white's winning. Now, what if I take this? Then you take on e6, and now we see why your knight is on h4, because if king f8 or king h8, knight g6 mate. And then after this, it says white is up +7. You're just going to be up a piece. Yeah, you're just up a piece here. So f5 is crushing because he can't play rook b3. If he has to take this, knight f5, god damn. That's looking good. I guess I'm curious what happens here, but I guess just take on g6. Yeah, this is +6. Jesus. Why is this +6? What's going on? Rook d6 +6? Damn, harsh. I mean, black's position is ridiculous. I agree. But I didn't realize how good white's position was. I mean, yeah, white's just killing it here. +6, wow. Okay, so f5 would have been crushing, Spence. You played knight d2, which defends your pawn and also maintains a large advantage. Yeah. Very large. Yeah. Okay, queen b6, and you played f5. Yeah, that's the best move. That's right. Bishop b3 is good. Knight b3 is good. And now, Spencer, you will know Spencer's name is the Lord if the guy plays this. But the guy didn't play that, so you don't know Spencer's name is the Lord. If the guy played this, Spencer was going to say, excuse me, while I whip this out. And he would have Tubin the guy. Rook D8 check, Jeffrey Tubin. Man. God damn. You can't take the rook because your queen's hanging. So you got to get crushed. King H7's illegal. King G7's illegal. All right. So the engine thinks knight here is a little better than bishop there. All right. Then you take the rook on B8. He has to take the rook. Otherwise, he loses everything. Then you take this. And then I've never seen... How could black's position be so bad? How could those pieces be on worse squares? And the engine says white is +4 because black's position is absurd. Okay, so he didn't take on B3. He did take on B3. That's what I meant. He did? F5, bishop B3. This is and I'm getting confused. Well, he did take on B3. Okay, and Spencer did do that. All right. Well, this is the game. All right. And then the engine just says black's completely crushed. He took with the F pawn. It says every move wins. It likes your move. It likes queen takes C6. It likes queen C4 check. Spencer played here, blocking the pawn forever. The bishop is dead. These pawns are incredibly weak. The knight is trapped. It's like white's a super grandmaster and he's given a simul. Okay, queen D6. That's legal. And then Spencer said, always sack the exchange. Bam! Gotcha, bitch. Now, this pawn is pretty weak, and the main defender is the knight on F8, so Spencer got rid of that. And now it says white is +9! That's a pretty good plus. So both moves lose immediately. Bishop takes and queen takes, but they're still the best. And they lose for the same reason. Knight takes G6 is just crushing. Knight takes E5 discovered check. Check. Knight E7 check. Engine recommended. Bishop takes G7. Has to take. Queen C3. He's got 3 pieces, 1 for each of them. King F8 is mate. He played King F8. That's just forced mate. The reason he didn't play King F7 is that's pretty ugly. So that's +12. So he played King F8, not walking into the skewer. Only legal move. If he plays King G8, then this is mate. So you got to play King E8. And you have to play, if you play Queen D7, then this is mate, confusing the audience. This is also mate, but I'm assuming Spencer would have gone here for the crowd. $4.99. Thank you. Instead, the guy played Rook D7, Queen H8, and black resigned because queen takes queen on either square mate, showing you the uselessness of the knight on A6. So a great game by Spencer. That game was probably played in 2010. Yeah. So that game is 10 years old. I think in 2011 or 12, Spencer was higher than 1950. Yeah. So a crushing attack by Spencer. These pieces not as good. So a very good game. Very poor defense by black. Knight A6, terrible. Pieces all trapped everywhere. And then this game started going downhill for black in this position when he played Knight H7, giving the center away. And Spencer promptly put his knight on E4, and D6 was weak, and Spencer easily won by just attacking every move. And black is just way too passive. A game Magnus Carlsen himself would have been proud to play. That's right. It had to be 2010 if Spencer was 1950. I mean, otherwise, he wouldn't be 1950. Spencer's 2200 now. Spencer's been 2200 since like 2013 or 2012. So, had to be 2010. Yeah. Jalen Ding. I haven't heard his name in a while. Man. All right, great game. Usually I'm used to looking at, I hung my queen, he hung his queen. The director came over and said, those aren't your queens, those are your kings. Put your king back on the board. And we're like, what's a board? And the director looked and there was no chessboard. And then it turned out we were playing Tiddlywinks and there was no director and it was all because we took too much LSD. That's usually what I'm used to. Okay, but that game, that was a fine chess game. Don't forget it. Yeah. I can't ship your book. I'm the talent. Okay, that's not what I do. That's what my people do. My people take your money and then you beg for your book. All right. Yeah, exactly. That escalated quickly. That's right. Yeah. Okay, now we'll go to some other game played by another family member. Well, not really. Delete. Trying to learn. Trying not to learn. Trying not to learn. All right, some noise that I like. Let me go back to the beginning. 500 centidues from Joe Adam. Is that enough? Question mark exclam. Enough for what? Thank you. Enough for a thank you? Yeah. Thanks for the donation. Yeah. Check my text. This can't be good. Is it? I'm not eating enough on stream? Is that what it is? Oh, hold on a second here. Wait, my daughter sent me a text. Oh man, that's pretty cool. Spencer, I'm sending you these pictures from cosplays from Iram. What's your name, Spencer? There it is. Thanks for telling me to check my text. I didn't know my daughter was texting me. Thank you. All right, now let's see. What else were you talking about? Blah, blah, blah. That is funny. Well, obviously, she doesn't know who he is. What? Why would he think she knows who he is? It's ridiculous. What? Yeah, it's funny because it's not me. Yeah. Let's see. Truth hurts. What does the truth hurt? What did I do? Okay, that's why. Oh, yeah, that is funny. All right. Yeah, but I'm not going to do that. I don't have to stoop down to their level trying to learn. I have my own terrible level. Is it where you drew rook against rook and pawn? Sounds like the Gingy game. Yeah. Let's see. Is it ever enough? Normally, if you want your games moved up to in the list, I would require like a $50 donation. Now, Fen Beingold, he's a 2,300 player, and he always donates $100, and I look at his games first, and he beats like 2,400s. So it's a double win. We see like a really good game. I get a lot of money. Then you guys are like, here's 103 centidues. Can you look at my game? And then all the jokes that I like to make. Yeah. Etc. Yeah, well, Kangaroo's a mod and a VIP and, you know, something. And I was on a Zoom call with Kangaroo earlier today, and when it ended, he left his pants on. So then we looked at his game because I figured that was more than I expected. I mean, after all, he is German. So, you know, you can't really expect too much. Perrier tastes like beer. Sure. Not sure you're drinking the right Perrier. All right. What? All right, back to the beginning. This is Towns von Zugzwang. I was white. I like opponents who accept my sacrifices. All right. This was posted 5 days ago. God damn. Yeah, there's approximately 100 games that are on Discord right now that I haven't looked at yet because you guys post like 70 games a day. Jesus. It's Pam. Hey, Pam. That's right. Now you know who Tubin is. Yeah. So I'll tell you a funny story, then we'll get back to the chess. There's a master who died about, 10 years ago. I don't know. Could be more than 10 years ago. Could be less. Named Jerry Hankin. Well-known get about town in the USCF and such. Anyway, Jerry Hankin was a very aggressive person. And he was like a parole officer also, but he was a big guy too. He was big everywhere. He was, 6'2", 6'3". I'm guessing, might have been taller. And he was a big boy. He was 3 bills. Okay, but anyway, yeah, I would say 6'2", 300 if I had to guess. Anyway, he was on the USCF policy board, and they had a meeting, and he got mad, because he got mad a lot. And at some point, he stood up in the meeting and he was like, "Rawr," like I do, but for real. And while he was yelling and moving his fist like this, his pants fell down. Okay? And that sort of lightened the mood. Like, then it was hard for him to be mad because his pants fell down. So he picked his pants up and sat back down and didn't talk much after that. And anyway, that's not the funny part of the story. The funny part of the story is, after that, they said his motto was, "Fists up, pants down." Just a funny motto. Bradford61 donated $100. Also, Bradford61 has a game in the queue. So you know what that means. I don't know what it means, but it means something. God damn. Richard Verber was a lot bigger than Jerry Hankin. That's true. Yeah. There's a guy in Texas. I don't know where he lives now. I got to think of his name. Give me like an hour. Thanks, No Lo YOLO 4 for subscribing. I guess we're on Chess TV because we have 900 viewers. Hi, Chess TV. I donated $1,000 last week as an anonymous. Well, Karen didn't tell me that, so that seems unlikely. I mean, usually when somebody donates $1,000, Karen tells me. You did it on my stream? What? If you did, thank you. Okay, Karen spent it all. The guy's about 2,200, but I can't think of his name. Damn. Enrique Rios. Yes. God damn. I can't believe I remembered his name. If anybody knows Enrique Rios, he's 2,200 at chess. He's from Texas. He lived in Vegas for a while. I don't know where he lives now. Cheesehead. Cheesehead will back me up. He is a large man. Like, if Shaq saw him, Shaq would run away crying. He's a large man. Somebody back me up. Yeah, Cheesehead, back me up over here. Yeah, he's Samoan, and then some. Okay, I was telling my friends about how big he was for years, and then we were in Vegas, me and my friends, and I saw him on the list, and then I saw him, and I said, "That's him." And they were like, "Wow." And then one of my friends said a term I'd never heard before, but now I know. My friend said, "He's first off the bus big." And I said, "What does that mean?" He said, "When you're a football team and you're traveling and you get off the bus, you want to scare the other football team, so you get your biggest, scariest guy leave the bus first, so the other team's scared of you." So he was first off the bus big. So, I don't know, he's 6'7", 400 pounds? That's about right. Man, that guy was big. I haven't seen him in a long time, but he was very big. Yeah. He's like 2,200. And he said to me, I think I'm the largest master in the world, like height and weight. And I was like, I guess so. God damn. Okay. Yeah, Cheesehead, back me up. Yeah. Okay, now, hi, Chess TV people. Okay, now, yeah, Shaq's taller than the guy, I know. Okay, now, Karen and I were in Charlotte, and there's a dessert place that's very well known. I just thought of it. It's called Amelie's. It's in Charlotte. It's probably closed now, but anyway, we were going to Amelie's, and I don't know if we got there or we were leaving. I don't know. And there was a woman standing outside. I mean, I don't know. She was 4,000 pounds. Me and Karen never saw anything like it. And she was standing up and she was trying to move, but it was weird. She had to get like momentum to move. It was very strange. We never saw anybody like her before or since. The funny thing was, it was at a dessert place. That's sort of why it's funny. Yeah, that North Carolina woman, she probably, is engaged to Enrique Rios. God damn. Thirsty Monsters rating with 31? You had 31 viewers? You? Wow. Unbelievable. That's the most amazing thing I've heard, ever. Wow. I mean, good job. Thirsty Monster. I mean, I'm going to have a drink because you're thirsty. Go, Thirsty Monster. God damn. Thirsty Monster is one of my favorite streamers. Although maybe my standards are too low. Go, Thirsty Monster. Yeah. Anyway, if anybody's ever seen Enrique Rios, you'd remember that. Now, since then, at Texas Tech, which I've been to several times to play in Norm tournaments and Spice Cups and stuff, Jerry Perez, I win. I remember everybody's name. I remember his name. Jerry Perez is similar. He's a computer science assistant professor, associate professor, I don't know. He helps out with the chess tournament. Maybe he's 1,700. He told me his peak was 435, but when I met him, he said he only weighed 375, and he was about 6'8". Yeah, he was very similar to Enrique Rios, very similar. And there's a very famous arm wrestling match with him and Dean Ippolito. Dean Ippolito said, "I haven't lost in 12 years." And so we set up arm wrestling match with him and Jerry Perez, and Jerry just started laughing. And then Dean didn't like that. He said, "That guy's way too confident." And he says, "No, you don't have any chance at all." And he put Dean down. He just went like this. It was like he wasn't trying. He put Dean down like nothing. And Dean's just all muscle, and he's a bodybuilder, and he never loses in arm wrestling. And Jerry just put him down like he wasn't there. That was a good arm. That was at some terrible restaurant. Anyway, yeah, Jerry Perez. Yeah. No, Thirsty Monster. No. Man, I can't remember these names. These are the biggest guys I've ever met. Jerry Perez, Enrique Rios, and they're both from Texas. People are bigger in Texas. That's true. Man, Jerry Perez, he wasn't kidding around. Okay, so this guy sent the game Towns van Zugzwang, which I can't pronounce. He's rated 1,000. His opponent's also rated 1,000. It's a 15-minute game with a 10-second increment. Let's have a look. F4 is surprisingly hard to beat. I've played knight h6 against it, and Yasser thinks b6 is the right move. Whoa, let's click the wrong thing there. Okay, knight f6 is that's not good. e5 is probably right, but knight c3 is okay. d3. You can't play f4 then d3. You play e5. Come on. All right, I have a really good joke I can make, but I can't make it. Hopefully Spencer understands. Okay, so don't say anything in the chat, Spencer. I'll just assume you understand. This move is not very aggressive. I know what Gary Kasparov would say about it. Okay, and then we'll continue on. All right, taking. That looks okay. Taking. All right, that's legal. Okay, that just blunders a point. It's take with the king. You can't just give a center pawn away. And again, we've talked about this on stream, and you guys don't listen. Pawn structure doesn't matter. And whether you can castle or not doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. What matters is you hung a knight, you hung a rook. Okay, you can't do that. King takes is just equal, and knight takes, you're just down a pawn for nothing. You can't do that. Then this guy is like, my opponent has tempted my sacrifice. Rawr, I'm mad. 1999. Michael Adams or Reshevsky? Michael Adams isn't very short. He's much taller than Reshevsky. What's wrong with you? You better donate some more puzzle pawn. Reshevsky was pretty short. Also, Reshevsky was a cheater. Michael Adams is like the nicest guy ever. So, yeah. Go Michael Adams. Yeah. Richard Keel. Now he was a big boy. Yeah, Richard Keel was a big boy. Yeah. I'm like Johnny Tightlips. Kasparov says a lot of things. That's right. Yeah, Reshevsky, his main cheating, the main way he cheated, I'm sure he cheated other ways, but the main way he cheated was he offered you a draw, you thought about it for 5 or 10 minutes, you accepted, then he's like, I didn't offer a draw. He did a lot. Another thing that he did, which is funny, is he was an Orthodox Jew, so he wouldn't play certain rounds or they would postpone, whatever. And at the U.S. Opens, he wouldn't play, one of the rounds when it was supposed to be played, I don't know, Friday or Saturday night. And so he would play in the morning. And when I say he'd play in the morning, they would find somebody for him to play in the morning so he could, wouldn't, for his religious, preference. And I've seen this because I've done it. You can sign a sheet that says you don't want to play Reshevsky at the non-standard round time. This was at every U.S. Open, and I've seen that sheet, okay? And John Fedorowicz told me a funny story. When people were reasonable at chess, in the point group, Reshevsky would go up to them and explain how, if we play, we're going to play at 10 in the morning, and you don't want to play me. And they were like, no. So they would sign, I don't want to play. And he did this to all the stronger players, try to get them to not play him, so he would play somebody weak. And Fedorowicz knew about that, and Fedorowicz said, no, Sammy, I want to play you. He says, I hope I get paired with you. Reshevsky didn't like that. And they got paired, and Fedorowicz crushed him. But he thought that was unethical, that instead of taking a half-point bye or a 0-point bye, Reshevsky would try to get a really weak opponent, so that, But him offering a draw and then denying it, he did that all the time. JAA928 gave 10 subs. Yay! And I'll tell you my favorite Reshevsky story. I knew these English IMs, and they all became GMs. God. Anyway, one of them needed to beat Reshevsky in the last round, and I think Lugano, a tournament in Switzerland, to get his IM title, get an IM norm, his last norm. And he won. And when the game ended, the guys were like, hey, congrats, you got your IM title. And Reshevsky said, are those guys your friends? And the guy's like, yeah. And he said, your friends are assholes. So, nice guy. All right, I have a lot of Reshevsky stories, but yeah, he was a great guy except for one thing. All right, so black's up a pawn for nothing. You shouldn't check when the guy can block with a pawn. That's not something you should do. He's still winning. It doesn't matter. He checked him again. All right, so black wasted 700 tempi to trade his bishop. It's good except for one thing. Look, in this position, why would you play bishop takes e3 and let the guy's knight go to e3? Why would you do that? Ridiculous. Okay, c6 is the most passive move. Good. f5 is crazy like Fox News. Good. All right. Okay, now, black's not developed too well, so, make some solid move. The engine says g6, defending the pawn, knight d7. He played knight d2, super aggressive, not terrible. And then knight takes f5, always play knight f5, and then black made a minor mistake here. He should just take this, and he's okay. But he took the rook because he's greedy. And then rook takes. Now, black's got to be very careful. Also, black has to be very, very quiet. He's hunting wabbits. Very quiet. Let's see. CL Smith, Mad Quick Chess, Presta J subscribed. Good. Good. They became British GMs, and barely that. Okay. So in this position, the engine says Black's best move is to give his bishop away with this move. What? I mean, the indolence is inefficacious. I would never, ever, ever play that move or consider it. But that's the best move. He played knight d7, losing immediately, or as Yasser likes to say, immediately. And white blundered here, then black blundered. Okay, so knight takes f7 wins. This is the only legal move. Rook takes f7, and black is basically stalemated. White's threatening knight takes bishop, followed by the knight. If the knight moves away, this is mate. So the game's over. And instead, white blundered with rook takes f7, and black blundered back. John Mack TV subscribed. Go John Mack. What about Jimmy Mack? When is he coming back? Now, you guys don't know that song. Do you think natural talent and math and chess are correlated? I don't believe in natural talent. I believe in working hard as long as I'm not the one who has to do it. Okay, now here black has one move that wins, rook to e8. And then white's all talk at a badge. The engine prefers black. Black's up material. It doesn't see a continuation for white. But instead, just like I said every stream, you have to take and then mate. So it's pretty. Now, I know it's pretty, but... Oh, wait, I can't finish the quote. Okay, we'll see True Romance, and you can finish your own quote. Gary Oldman. So that was a nice finish. Black's defense wasn't top-notch. However, both players were 1,000. Or, according to people on Twitter and Reddit, according to them, they'll both be GMs in 2 or 3 years. A couple of years, GM type. No problem. Go Zoidberg. Yeah. I am the best streamer in my chair as long as nobody touches my chair. Also, I have the most basal rolls, right? So that automatically makes me pretty good. Now Karen had a basal roll. I'm guessing she ate it. She's probably watching the stream now if she's awake. Now also, isn't the World Series going on now? And you guys forgot about it? The World Series is very important except for one thing. Man, even people in Tampa and LA don't care about it. Now, in what movie did they want to watch the World Series, but they couldn't do it, so then they had to pretend they were watching the World Series? It's one of my favorite movies. Let's see who's paying attention. Lords of Acid gifted a sub. Good. Good. That's right, Bonarici. Cuckoo's Nest is correct. Very good. Okay, so that game wasn't the best game ever played, but it was close. So I'll give him that. Okay. All right, could you please analyze my game? I played the French. I was black. Thank you. Well, that's pretty good. Okay, this game was played. This was sent to me. This is all sent to me 5 days ago. I'll have to stream 24 hours a day for like a week, and then I can get caught up. White is 1,200 and black is 1,200, but I think it actually says that. So, well, it doesn't. Okay, and the game was. It says time control standard. What does that mean? What? If the PGN on chess.com says time control standard, what does that mean? What? Go AOC, but stay there. 1237. What's more likely? A volunteer U.S. split, another civil war? Neither. We're out of Perrier, so I'm drinking, pure leaf tea. Yeah. It means 10-second chess, I'm sure. Ish don't think so. An automatic transmission. What? So it was standard? Man. Did they put regular gas or unleaded? Also, we should take a break from the stream and everybody wish Kamala Harris a happy birthday. Happy birthday. True story. Should I send a game I won or lost? It'll be a week before we look at it, so it doesn't matter. All right. That's president-elect to you. Oh, snap. Yay. Yeah, Spencer's not a Kamala fan. He prefers Pence, except for one thing. Yeah, I was talking to Wes, when I was visiting my mom, and I said, who are the Republicans going to put up in 2024? And he's like, Pence. And I was like, yeah, I guess. Horrible. All right. No, I don't like peach. I just like plain. I can't drink anything that has weird nonsense. Unsweetened tea, plain Perrier. If it has any kind of flavor, either one, I can't do it. Can't do it. Yeah. Also, Trump 20, Tucker Carlson, he'll get at least 2 votes. Him and his boyfriend or something. I don't know. All right. Perrier drinks, President Harris. Yeah, I agree. Okay. So wait, what happened? What did this guy say? He said, I was black, thank you. All right. We should get Anish Giri in here. Well, I'm getting a text. Just a second. Oh, it's AOC. She wants to know if I can look at her game. You could put it on my Discord and then I'll just text her. And then, we'll go in order. Okay, sent. I mean, eventually. Yeah. All right. If Tucker wins, what would you do? I'm going to be alive in 2024. Yeah. All right. Let's have a look at the French. Je parle français un petit peu. J'ai habité en Belgique pour 4 ans. Et maintenant, il joue comme ça. Mwah! Formidable. Now, Spencer shows this position to Karen a lot, and he's supposed to take on d4. What's funny is, one of the games I didn't show in my Ginger Hashvili lecture today, Gingy was white in this position. I think it was a Blitz game where he beat somebody really good. Oh, he beat an engine. He beat Fritz or something, back before you guys were born. Bishop e3 is that's not good. You always got to get connect 4. So then it would be just normal theory. Bishop e3 really weakens the b pawn. Also weakens the center. Okay, if you take with a knight, obviously you lose your e pawn. I'm starting to think if Manmoth was here, he wouldn't like me looking at this game. That's what I'm starting to think. All right, 97 is good. And now white missed mate in 1 because it's illegal. That was a good reason to miss it. Generally, it's quite poor to trade off your white square bishop in an advanced French. White would like to have that bishop. The black already has a big advantage here. I would take with the pawn so I could play c5 and open the b file. The bishop here is sort of blockaded, so Lisa Simpson wouldn't like that. And the engine agrees taking with the pawn's better. All right, and black's still better. b4 really weakens the queen side here, so that's not a good move. Queen d7 is sort of funny. We have a half-open file here. There should be rooks and queens going to that file. I almost put the never play f6 shirt on today. It was close. I did laundry today and yesterday, and I picked this shirt. f6 is a very poor move. The pawn on e5 basically is blocking 3 of white's pieces, and black has counterplay on the c file, so black doesn't need counterplay here. So f6 is very poor because it helps white. All right, now the game's about equal. Now we have these squares for our knights. Queen d2 is a bit passive. e5 is good. Queen d2 is a very bad move, just letting black push the pawns forward. That's also not good. Black won a pawn. Good. Very good play by black. Nope. Okay, so that's, again, this move wins a piece, and king h2 is a horrible blunder. Also good is rook f2, threatening the queen and mate. Probably queen here is better because of rook g3, but it's close. It actually is close. King h2 is just a horrible blunder. This knight's not defended. This diagonal's open. You can't, and the rook could go to f2. So king h2 is a really poor move. Okay, and obviously this is winning for black. Hopefully there's not any more surprises. Black could play rook f1, threatening queen g1 mate. That would be annoying. It doesn't matter. I mean, everything's winning. All right, absolute crush. I mean, all right, it's fine. And he resigned because rook h4 mate is next. So white made a lot of errors that game, and black played pretty well, I thought, considering both players are quite low rated. As long as Mamloth is in here, we're good. Otherwise, he's going to be furious. Terrible. Yeah. Let's see. AOC loses to Michael Jackson's PYT. AOC, PYT. Yeah, that's true. PYT is better. I do like people and things that have, initials like that, or, I don't want to be saying whole words, right? I got to say Donald Trump, get him out of there, right? Joe Biden, perfect. That's just very few letters. I don't, Biden's 5 letters, that's too many, but all right. But still, 2 gingers, 1,573 viewers a do. Hooray, viewers a do. Yay. Go Among Us, I guess. I don't know. Something. Let's see. Who the hell is AOC is correct? Uh-oh. Kangaroo 55. It's 3 a.m. for him. He's getting the ban hammer out. He's mad and tired. He's tired of all your nonsense. 3:30 in the morning. All right, back to whatever it is I was doing. So, analyze my game. Black played very well. White, not as well. Two bishops, what else? And an extra 2 bishops. Am I supposed to be analyzing anybody's game now? Oh, yeah, I am. I am supposed to analyze somebody's game. So I'm going to skip you. And then I have to find, whoever gave me all that money. 1 second here. This has no players' names. How does it have no players' names? This was against a bot. Oh, wait, you give 10 subs. You're second in line. Okay, nobody. Big money. Elitism. Stop. Rufus, Doofus, Simul, Fide Corrales, Kasparov, Fisher. Here it is. There's the game I was looking for. I'm white against someone about 1,800. All right. All right, so this is Bradford, and then someone I used to know, 1,800, and then got ya, and then I guess bitch, I don't know. Okay. There we go. All right, complicated jokes on the stream today. Ooh. These taste good. All right. Go Bradford, but stay there. Rolling in his money. That's right. Queen's Gambit decline. The boring variation. It's a 15-minute game with a 10-second increment. A6, pretty passive. Pretty passive. Now, wait a minute. Without using the engine, I'm pretty sure bishop takes f6 wins a pawn. If I use the engine, bishop takes f6 is terrible. But I've played bishop takes f6, queen h5 before in similar positions in Blitz chess, and I won a pawn. I don't see what the difference is here. All right, time to look at the engine and find out why I'm wrong. Bishop f6, queen h5 wins a pawn. Yay. Yeah, so you take this, and this is why black usually plays c6 early. Now there's a double threat. So black stops mate, and white wins a pawn. Okay, knight e2. And white's slightly better. That move's risky because it's trapping the bishop a little bit, but the engine says it's fine. Okay, and he gets his bishop out. So knight g4 didn't work for him. He tried and he failed miserably. Okay, and now you have a winning sacrifice and you played it. Bishop takes g6, very good. If he takes it, you take check and the knight is lost. So he has to take this. You took that. You could also take on h7 with check. Your move is fine. Again, if takes, then queen takes. So bishop d6 was a real mistake for black. Threatening mate. Only move. You should definitely just take this now. Then if he takes that, you can take that with check, and you're up like 7 pawns. Okay, your move's all right. You're just not as winning now. Still winning. King f7, wow. Your white's just a pawn up and having fun. Finally, he plays the crushing f5, like Spencer did. Bam! Always sack the exchange. Zwischenzug. White's up a lot of material. Wow! Okay, so this e-pawn is helping black because it blocks white's e-file. So taking that pawn, that's slightly crazier than Fox News. Slightly. Knight takes e6 is like, when Trump's on fire. That's what this is. Yeah, you can't do that. That pawn is necessary for black to live. Without that pawn, white crashes through. Now, black is completely lost, but now he's completely lost. God damn. Okay, rook e3, that's legal. Knight h5 is legal. Rook takes g3 doesn't make any sense because the rook is pinned. So you would just play here and win the knight. Like, this rook's pinned, it can't move, so you would never just trade. That doesn't make any sense. Rook's pinned. Okay, but he traded, all right. He's winning the endgame, but it's not as easy to win this as if you just doubled rooks. Now it looks pretty easy. Well, I like that move. It's not a good move, but I like it. I mean, it's winning, so it's good in that sense. Okay, and the guy resigned. In this position, white has mate in 2 if he plays queen g3, which I'm sure he would have played. And then you have 2 different mates. Yeah. So, very nice game from white. There was one key position that mattered. That mattered a lot, and it was this one. This was the key. If you don't take on g6, you have an advantage, but not too much. And if you take on g6, you're completely winning, and you did. So that was a key moment in the game. And in this position, black has to, be reticent of, getting his ass kicked. So, yeah. And hopefully after this, you said, gotcha, bitch. Hopefully. We can only hope. Yeah. I don't know if you did, but we can hope that you did. Play a match, something or not. Interview 1 week ago. Stuart Rachel's. Congress is an urban legend. Government view bots. U.S. chess. Imposter. Sneaking into the bathroom like a grandmaster. Jeannot, I like that. Half of America doesn't know what Congress is. Let's see here. All right. Yeah, this is the famous game, Sexual versus Congress. Sure, Bradford, good game, etc. All right, get rid of that. Delete message, etc. Let's go back to the beginning. Check my phone, see if I'm getting yelled at. Let's see. Not getting yelled at? Okay. So we got 2 bishops, what else, and an extra 2 bishops, what else. 2 bishops, what else is black. He's 1500. He's playing a 1496. The time control says 1800. The time control is higher rated than both of them. That's how bad they are. Even the time control scoring off of them. All right. 1800 as well, like a 30-minute game. 60, 30, 1800. Yeah, I guess. I guess it's 30-minute game with no increment. I don't know. I don't know how these things work. All right. Let's see. Your chess is bad and you should feel bad. It's true. You can't argue with that. Any preference? I'd rather see, I guess, Tampa win because I'm mad at the Dodgers for beating the Braves. But I'm not sure why. Somebody has to be mad. And also, I like that Tampa beat the cheaters. So that was good. I got 2 basil rolls. What else? Oh, yes, some pure leaf too. It's hello, Matt W. We'll look at your game in about 6 weeks. All right. E5, proving his rating. Yeah, E5 is no good. Yeah, D6 is good. All right. Already equalized. Now black's better because black has the 2 bishops. Queen E2 doesn't make any sense. H3 doesn't make any sense. Knight D5 is a weird move. I mean, I'm going to move one of these pawns so my bishop can get some space. I don't know which one, but I mean, pawns here are blocking the bishop. So knight here is sort of strange. It's all right. Queen C4. Yeah, when you move your queen out, then the other guy takes it, so don't do that. After queen C4, white's losing because the queen's going to get harassed. C5 is good. D4 is really bad because white's opening the center. White's king is in the center and black castled. Right. So this is, this game is already over. We'll look at another game now. Oh, the game ends pretty soon. Yeah, I mean, H3, Queen E2, Queen C4, Queen D4, Papa John's. I mean, look at this. I've never been so mad. Queen H4 is hyper aggressive. I like it. Queen C6. Wow. That's Fox Newsworthy. Jeff Fox Newsworthy. That's the best exchange sack I've ever seen. Every move wins here. They're all plus 15 for black. Somehow, we're on move 13, and white hasn't started the game yet. Queen E5 is one of the winning moves. Every move wins, doesn't matter. That's a winning move. All right. The engine announces mate after bishop F4. That's what you played. Threatening rook D8 check, among other things. Among Us. Now, just to show you how bad white's position is, and I'm not kidding, the best move for white, according to the engine, is Queen D5. That's the best. The best, Jerry, the best. Because you got to stop mate, so that stops mate for a little while. All right. And then mate. I mean, white didn't develop his pieces. White made like 4 queen moves in a row. White played H3, losing a tempo. White played bishop here and traded his bishop. That's an excellent example, mainly, of having the handle 2 bishops, what else, and then having the 2 bishops, what else. That's what that's a good example of. I hope you enjoyed that. I mean, White didn't develop his pieces in Castle. You guys hate doing that. You hate castling. You hate developing your pieces. You like moving the same piece every move. Okay? And that's because you enjoy having 3-digit ratings. You're like, man, I love it. All right. You're like, I can do something in chess Feingold can't do. And the guy's like, what? Have a 3-digit rating. So then terrible. Go Kenny Banya. That's correct. Everybody's Kenny Banya. Trying to learn AOC 400,000. Is this 1851? You detest the Dodgers or Astros? The Astros. And let's call them what they are, the cheaters. All right, the Houston Cheaters. That's right. I'm jealous that my rating is 4 digits ever since I turned 7. All right, 2 bishops, what else? Your game we looked at. What else? Some noise happened. John Mack TV gifted a sub. But when's Jimmy Mack coming back? What's happening? The lower the better, just like golf. That's true. That's right, Kangaroo 1302. That rhymes. Might not even be true. Hi, Ben. I played white. Me and my opponent both thought we were worse, so we agreed to a draw. Analyzing with an engine didn't help. All right. So this is from Carl. And he was white. It's a daily game. Both sides were worse. I'm not sure why at the end of the game it says there's a parenthetical. That's probably going to destroy the PGN. So I'll have to fix it. Oh, it didn't destroy it at all. Okay. Oh, I see. It starts with move 20. Okay, I see. All right. And then, let's see. You're Carl. And I played white. Okay, and then opponents. All right. It's a daily game, but I don't know their ratings. So we'll never know. Right, well, we have a lot of viewers because I'm on Chess TV. Now, normally, I would have about 150,000 viewers now, but AOC took most of them. Oh, well. I'm looking at the game, and I guess if Manmoth is here, you better get out of here. Let's see. What 5-card draw is trying to get banned? What? He's trying, but he's failing miserably. You're not? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, 5-card draw, if you want to say something bad about somebody, there's a very long list for Trump if you'd like. Basically, you could say like 10 bad things a day that he's said since he's been president or done. So that would give you thousands of bad things to say. So maybe you should concentrate on that. Or Pence. Or any Republican that ever lived. Try that. All right. Well, obviously you don't like Donald T. You're able to type a sentence. All right. So let's continue. Come on, Biden was like the 6th best Democrat running out of the 10. That's pretty good. A little above average. All right, this move nonsensical. This move nonsensical. Bishop d5 nonsensical. Okay, 7's good. c4 trapping the bishop, or so he thought. d3 is correct. And after e6, he has bishop e3. That's genius. So this game is silly, but White's doing well now. Bishop b6. Now, this is not a joke. I'm not kidding. I'm not. The engine says bishop a8 is the best move, and that white is better. I have spoken. And by me, I mean the engine. It says bishop a8 is best. Yep. I'm surprised Magnus hasn't had this position. Yeah. That's the best move. What do you want? Yeah, Spencer's light. That's right. Didn't even occur to me. The way you spelled occur didn't occur to you? Wow. No, the rook a7, the bishop is defending a7. So you can't do that. I mean, I haven't seen a bishop that safe since, the Vatican got 10 lawyers to defend him against the allegations. That's how safe that bishop is. God damn. It's funny, when Karen and I were at the Vatican last year, there was a bishop there, and he spoke to us. Karen can back me up. There were a lot of, armed forces. Oh, Pietro's here. He can back me up. There's a lot of armed forces there. I don't know who they are. The Italian government forces. And they have machine guns everywhere. And Karen was going to take a picture of one, and the guy said no. And then Karen just took pictures without telling them after that. Like just, with her phone. Anyway, I asked the bishop, is there anybody you're afraid of? Because you see the guys with machine guns and there could be terrorism. And the bishop said, no, my son, only one I am afraid of, Jeffrey Toobin. Man, long setup for that joke. Word. Da-da-da-da. Swiss Guard, yeah, maybe. Oh. Da-da-da-da-da-da. You missed the joke. No. Why was the commercial? Somebody give that guy a membership, and then explain to him that his name is very Indian. Because he probably doesn't know that. No, your app crashed because the joke was too funny. Yeah. Let's see, blah, blah, blah. All right, back to whatever it is I was doing. Now, bishop a8 was not played. Too obvious. He played, hello, Matt W. gifted us up. Thank you. He played bishop b6. The engine says this is equal. Takes. I think on c4. Obviously, taking this is correct. Threatening d6. Taking this is just doesn't make any sense. Now, this is winning, and this is winning. Everything's winning. He played one of the winning moves. All right. b3 doesn't make a lot of sense. Bishop c5 is good. And black's just winning here 2 pieces for a rook. Not super interesting. Black's just up a lot of material. These moves aren't as crazy as the previous moves. I mean, we could just take this knight and play d5, d4, and we're crushing it. g6 is pretty suspicious. Black's just up a lot of material, so it doesn't matter. Knight g is not a bad move. Looks like a bad move. Okay, and here the players agreed to a draw. Both sides thought they were worse. I mean, black has 2 pieces for a rook, and there's no compensation. So you're winning. You play like 20 more moves and you'll win. I don't know why black thought he was worse. He's got a bishop and a knight for a rook. So, yeah. Now, the game was a little strange, but once you're ahead material, you're winning because you're ahead material, unless there's some compensation. And if there was compensation, the engine would say, rawr, but the engine just says, yeah, I resign. Like, goes back here. Yeah, you have a lot of pieces. A bishop and a knight is just better than a rook. Yeah. There's no like forced win. You just keep playing, your opponent keeps playing, and you have more pieces than them. So eventually you'll win. Now, one thing that you did wrong, which everybody does wrong and I can't stop them. So me saying this isn't going to help. Sometimes when I teach things, my students nod and they do them, but usually they don't. They just nod and don't do them. So I stopped teaching because it seems pointless. But anyway, I like you guys, thanks. But one thing people do, and this is probably like my main complaint, is I tell them never to offer or take a draw, and instead of saying, okay, and then that's it, and then that's it. Like, they say, okay, they never offer or take a draw. That's never happened. Now, I have to say it has happened because, sort of like Rick James, I mean, I did put my feet on his couch. I had a student who is somewhat autistic, but you can't tell unless, you talk to him for a second, then it's pretty obvious. And his greatest feature of his chess was he was autistic. So he was the only student I've ever had where if I said something, he did it. And the reason was, as he put it, he couldn't not do it. So that was one of his problems, which in this case is obviously a strength. So if I said never played F3, he never played F3. He didn't say, what if F3 wins a queen? What if F3's mate? He just said, okay. And then he never played F3. Like, he didn't question my teaching, and he didn't not listen because he was paying for lessons, so not listening wouldn't make any sense. Now, you guys, you pay for lessons, you have coaches, and you never listen to them because that, you're not autistic, I guess. Anyway, he was 1850 for like 7 years. And then I gave him lessons, and in a month he was 2050. He did exactly what I said because he had to. That's who he was. He could not do what I said. And one time I jokingly said, oh, you should quit chess because he played so bad. And then he didn't play chess for a few months, and I asked him why, and he said, you told me to quit. And I said, yeah, but I was kidding. He said, oh. Then he started playing again. So right. So when I say never take a draw, never offer a draw, all of my students would offer and take a draw every move. And then they would say, oh, but then they would like the list of excuses why they didn't listen to me. The reason the player with the black pieces has said, I thought I was worse, and my opponent thought he was worse, so we agreed to a draw, is because people like that agree to a draw and don't play chess and figure out what's going on. So he has no experience in these kinds of positions because he's too busy agreeing to draws. If he never agreed to a draw, never offered a draw, he would have a lot more experience as a chess player because the games would go to their natural conclusion. Okay? And then you get better at chess because you see what should have happened or what could have happened and so forth. Now, funny story about this said person, the autistic guy. He's not very autistic. He's a little autistic. I know there's not different ranges, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, he was playing like a 1500, 1400, 1500. And he hung his queen. So he's down a queen. He didn't get a pawn for either. He was down a queen. And it was a slow game. It was like game 90, game 60. And one of my other students who was 2300 said, I think he just hung a queen. And I said, yeah, but he'll win. And my 2300 student said, what? He's down a queen. And I said, yeah, but that guy's no good. And he said, well, if the guy offers him a draw, he'll take it. And I said, no, he won't. He's not allowed to. And he said, okay, I'll bet you. Do you want to bet? And I said, yes. And when I said yes, my 2300 student was just taken aback. He was like, what do you mean yes? And I said, yeah, you want to bet 20 bucks? What do you want to bet? And then he didn't bet because he was so confused that a 1500 in a slow game couldn't win up a queen, or that my student wouldn't take a draw if things got better for him. And he was, So my other student was like confused at this point, the 2300 guy. About 7 or 8 moves later, the 1500 hung a rook. Shocking. And then he offered my student a draw. And my student said no, because he's not allowed to take a draw. Like it's It's something you guys can't understand. I would say don't take a draw, and he's not allowed to. So it wouldn't occur to him to say yes, because he's not allowed to take a draw. Anyway, when the game ended, my student was up 2 queens. So he went from a queen down to 2 queens up, and he won. So I walked over to the game, and I was going to say all kinds of great jokes, because I had like an hour to prepare these jokes. And one of them was, wow, I thought when you sacked your queen it was unsound, but you proved me wrong. That was like my first joke. Before I could say anything, my student's opponent said, why did you sack your queen, to my student? And so I just looked at the guy and I said, well, obviously he didn't sack his queen, he hung his queen. And the guy goes, you hung your queen? And my student goes, yeah. And he says, oh, because you had a lot of compensation. No compensation. Nothing. He hung his queen and I took it. There's no compensation. So the guy telling the truth was much funnier than me making a joke. And that just proves the truth hurts. Now, you guys don't listen to me. You guys just have your 3-digit ratings. You don't care what I say. If you never resign, never offer a draw, and never take a draw, which you can do, you don't do it, your rating will go up like 1,000 points. You're not going to do it. You're going to resign. You're going to take a draw. If I say, why'd you take a draw? You're going to be, well, and then you're going to give me some spiel. And then I'll be like, all right, why did I ask you? Anyway, any chess teacher you ever had would tell you something similar. Similar. Yeah. Anyway, you guys are all the worst is basically the point. Okay, 1,800 viewers. Hooray. Yeah. Let's see. On the spectrum. That is correct. What's going on here? 1,800 subs. No. Boo. Boo. Terrible. Always listen to Ben. Nobody listens. Nobody. They always just, yeah. My coach said I'm the only student who reads the books he tells me to. That's right. Yeah. Puzzle Pawn, that is correct, obviously. Puzzle Pawn knows what I'm talking about. God damn. Debating, blah, blah, blah. The next movie hung a night. One of my students, who now teaches chess for a living in Houston, he has his own chess studio. He... Many years ago, I'm like, always repeat. And he's like, why? And I said, always repeat. Rawr. I repeated my always repeat. He's like, all right. So he was like 1,800, 1,900. He was playing at 2,200. And it was like move 30. And he was like, oh, I can repeat. And Ben said, always repeat. But I don't know why. So he repeated. And the guy was repeating. And instead of repeating, the guy made the worst move in chess history. And my student's like, what? And then my student made a move and the guy resigned. So he was like, all right. My favorite always repeat story, I had a student who was 2,000. He was 1,500 when we started. He got to 2,250 or so. I think he's 2,250 now. Anyway, I'm playing him in a rated game, and he's dead. And I could take his bishop on A3, and I'm up like a lot of pieces. However, instead of taking his bishop, I played my queen from H3 to G4 check. He moved here, and then I went back to H3 check, because, always repeat. And then he resigned while I was repeating. And then he said, why didn't you take my bishop? And I said, well, I repeated and you resigned. And he was like, all right. I said, always repeat. He says, yeah, but you could take my bishop. And I'm like, what don't you understand about always repeat? And he was like, I guess the basic premise. So, all right, always retreat also. That is the French way of doing it. Then retweet. Mrs. 928 is calling me for dinner. Yeah, we'll analyze it later. Yeah, bon appetit. Yeah. Okay. Doesn't understand Vish when nothing. Yeah, don't take draws. All right. OTB game, I was white. I played horribly. He also played horribly, but I sacked my queen intentionally. Man, that word has a lot of extra N's in it. And hustled a drawn endgame. Oh, this game's going to be death. I mean, ooh, that sounds good. This is from CBOS 234. I can read. You were white and played horribly. Okay. Sounds like. Invalid PGN. What's wrong with it? I don't see anything wrong with it. I don't know how to fix it if there's nothing wrong with it. Okay, I can try to take out the wording. If that doesn't work, we're going to skip it. There's the name of the opening is right here for some reason. So we'll get rid of that. And we'll see if that fixes it. It did. Okay, you got lucky. Okay, and then let's see. Opponent, yeah. And then here. Okay. And then go back to the chat and see who's yelling at me. Thanks, Kangaroo. Have a good night. Just got into chess. Bunch of videos. My humor is amazing. It is? It is. Once again, opponent. That's right. Go opponent. 4 a.m. You're out. You're all banned. That is correct. Always repeat. Always repeat. Always repeat. Okay. So this is the game that was sent. The guy's claiming it wasn't the best. I don't know the ratings of the players. It's a knight orf, so they're pretty good, I guess. Still theory. H6 isn't a move that I know. Knight BD7 and queen C7. All right, but it's legal, I guess. Probably it's the main line now. I don't know. I'm guessing it would be good to take the knight and castle. The castles is good. In the knight orf, the knight always goes here. So now we're actually playing like we're playing a Richter Rouser. I guess. All right. Queen B6. Always retreat. The engine doesn't like that move. It wants to play here and just keep this pressure up. That makes sense. Because then if you castle, E5 is annoying. Yeah, with the bishop on F2, there's no pressure here. So there's bishop F2 is not a good square for the bishop. Rook E1 is a weird move. So the engine doesn't like bishop C6 because it wants white to sack a queen, which he did. It thinks that black's better by just taking this and then playing bishop here. I'm trying to figure out why that would be different. Take. Oh, I'm sorry. It wants to take the pawn and then play queen takes E5. That makes sense. All right, so it likes this. It likes that. It likes this. And it likes white. I agree. I like 3 pieces a lot more than a queen. A lot more. So I like white a lot here. Okay, D5. That seems to allow F5. Okay, but he defended his pawn. Still not playing F5 ever. Finally F5. All right. Ooh, that's you can't do that. No, you can't give this away like this. No. So this is a horrible blunder after which white's winning pretty easily. Otherwise it was like unclear. Now this is over. I mean the knight's here, the pawn's on the 7th rank. This 4-2 is irrelevant. King is safe. This is really bad. So this is like +4 for white. Okay, he saw the mate. That's good. I mean, I would never consider the move B4. That just weakens my king. Like, any move is good that's not B4. I wouldn't play B4. And even then, it's still good. But it's weakening white's king. So, King H8's a weird move. Well, the engine says King H8's okay. Knight E3, attacking the F pawn and Rook D8. Okay. G5, okay. Knight F5 is okay. Bishop F2 is easier. This is just white winning because white has so many extra pieces. But Knight F5 is an interesting piece sacrifice. Rook D7. I mean, the engine says white's winning here and white has 2 pieces for a queen. This is just white completely winning. The engine hates that move. It doesn't like knight takes at all because this knight is better than the rook. So it really, really dislikes this move. It says white's +6 here by just doing nothing. Okay, so what it wants to do It wants to play rook e2 defending the pawn and then take this. But it doesn't like queen d4 check. So the engine plays c3, then rook e2, and then takes this. And also taking this with check and going back is +7, because then bishop h5 is coming. So taking check, knight back, and then here, that's got to be just crushing. Okay, now white's better, but not completely winning anymore. Now it says it's equal. I mean, that's hard to defend the e-pawn. Damn. All right, so now it's a draw with correct play. I'm not even sure who's better. I guess I take white. I'll take white, I guess, yeah. White has a lot more pawns. Nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. Still a draw. Still take white. Still a draw. Still take white. So it really hates the move queen e1 check, letting white get his king up here. It wants to play queen f2, attacking, I mean, basically stopping white from doing anything and putting pressure here. It says every move is equal because white can't go here, and if white goes here, we can just check him back. So it really hates the move queen here, letting the king walk up. Yeah, now it says white's probably winning because white's king is, yeah. That's a good king. Yeah, this is obviously winning. King b8, that's a funny move. I like it. Yep. And he forced the white king to total safety. Always repeat. Very good. Check. And black resigned. So that game was very suspicious. White was completely winning, and then he messed it up, and then he won the game again. Yeah, this is a key position in the game. Black should take this, and then take this. And then the engine says it's about equal. After here, this is really good for white. White's pieces are fantastic. White's king is safe. Pawns are weak. Pawns on the 7th. I don't know how white kept this pawn. Jesus. Yeah, so this is terrible for black. Yeah. So bishop c6 was the losing move. Then he equalized, and then he let white's king walk up. That's a typical way to stop perpetual from a queen, is walk your king past your pawns and block the checks with your pawns and stuff. And he shouldn't have let white walk his king up, so he lost the game. But that was easy to lose. So that was a pretty good game. I think Manmoth would be proud of that game. I think so. Yeah, those guys weren't bad. You guys aren't as bad as you play. Yeah, those guys were pretty reasonable. Yeah, those guys are both over 2,000, maybe both over 2,200. Yeah, why is GM Ashley being endorsed by Hennessy? Why not? 5 bits from Shifty McHacks. 2,000 viewers. Go viewers. Why didn't he just take the rook the previous move? Man, I need to know. Yeah. Tell Karen about 3 pieces versus a queen. 3 pieces is better than a queen. God damn. 3 pieces is 3 pieces. A queen is 1 piece. Yeah. Yeah, go 3 pieces. 3 pieces, kick your ass. That's 3 pieces. Now, when you're a low-rated player, which most of you are, you have trouble coordinating your pieces. So in your own praxis, when you play other low-rated players, the side that has the worst position often does well. A good example is a rook against 2 pieces. If I have 2 pieces against a rook, then, Magnus will resign every second. And I'll be like, no, I don't want you to resign. I'm having a lot of fun. But when low-rated players have 2 pieces against a rook, the low-rated player's like, I got 2 pieces, 1 for each of me. What do I do? Then the rook just takes everything. So when players are under 1,500 and it's rook against 2 pieces, in practical play, the rook's going to do better. If it's 2 GMs, the 2 pieces win every time because 2 pieces is better than 1. But low-rated players have trouble coordinating their pieces. Then they learn these bad lessons. Like, well, I played and I had, whatever, and I lost, so therefore, and they have the wrong conclusions. You get on an airplane, the airplane crashes, and you're like, all airplanes crash. It's like 50-50. What are you worried about? Ridiculous. After blah, 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 doesn't bishop b5 win a piece? No. What are you, Fen Beingold? Oh, you are Fen Beingold. The engine actually gives bishop b5. That's the engine analysis. Now, Fen Beingold, not very high rated. That's his problem. He sees this is attacked and this is attacked, so a move like queen c7 escapes him. Terrible. I hope you're ashamed. And your children's children. Yeah. Who want that I will gift 100 subs? Nobody, that's who. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with queen c7. That just stops everything. If black wants to be cute, he can take the rook and take the bishop and have a rook and a piece for the queen. But that's the opposite of what happened in the game, so we can't have that. Queen c7. Wait, what are we doing? You keep analyzing? Bishop g3. We can't keep analyzing. I'm old. Okay, so the engine said, well, first of all, you pin the bishop, which is a really strange move. Okay, bishop c6 is the best move, but you're forgiven for not seeing that. That's fine. But you're not forgiven for playing here instead of here. Why would you why would you do that? Like, go here. That's weird that you want to pin your own bishop. So what you're doing is you're like intentionally playing bad for black and good for white to show that white's winning. You're like, oh, I'm winning because I'm not playing the best move for black. Bishop c6 is a good move. That's too complicated, so I understand not seeing that or analyzing it right. But queen c8 is far superior to queen d8, pinning your own bishop. No, boo, boo, etc. You saw AOC. All right, good for you. The problem is Fen Beingold didn't donate enough yesterday. I want that you will. Hello, Matt W. Somebody who has gifted 50 subs and then some many times is daring Ziv14243 to donate 100, and then he would make Hello, Matt W. look bad, so then Hello, Matt W. would donate 101, then there'd be a sub war, and I would probably have to eat this basil roll while you guys are having your sub war, because it sort of looks like a sub, just basil. So there you go. Give me a link to gift. I don't know what the link is. There's gift to sub is under the stream. I don't know. What? I don't know how to, what? I mean, if you're watching the stream, it's gift to sub, and then you click how many you want to gift. I'm not sure how you're watching the stream, so I can't help you. Ziv, are you watching on your phone or iPad or on a laptop or on a desktop? If you're watching on a laptop or a desktop, right under my beautiful video face, it says gift to sub. So you click the arrow down, and if you're on a phone, then nobody can do it. Then we just give up. Also, I think if you're on an iPhone, don't do anything because subs and bits cost more because you're doing it through Apple and Apple charges you more. So don't do that. So no gifting subs. Yeah. He's a poor student. That's redundant. That's why he's a poor student. CGR Martin. Somebody give him a sub. Do it. I'm using my neighbor's credit card. Good, that credit card's better than yours. Use that one. Yeah. One of the best episodes of Taxi is when the taxi company lays people off for a while and they get other jobs. And Louis' job is to trade stocks and get clients and stuff. And he's calling this phone and the guy's like, hello, do you want to buy these stocks? And, Well, do you know where your mommy's checkbook is? Go Danny DeVito. Yeah. The Carol Khan. Look, I'm on TV. That is correct. 2,000 viewers a do. God damn. Yeah. That's right. VC Flight's mom's credit card. Yeah. That was a very, very sharp, complicated, interesting game. I mean, both players got to be like 21 to 2300. The game was too good. Yeah. It was in too good of shape. Let's see. All right, so that was good. Good. What was the... that was game 75 with a 30... Wait, it was 75 minutes with a 30-second increment plus 30 minutes added after. So that was pretty slow. I'm deleting things. Classical. If I delete all the messages, I won't have any more games to look at. The game took almost 5 hours, and I was wearing a mask the whole time. That game we just looked at. Okay, casual game with a friend played on Lee chess. Boo! My rating was provisional, blah, blah, blah. I blundered my second queen. I thought I'd make fun of you guys. You guys are making fun of yourself. I blundered my second queen. God damn. Rating was provisional. I still don't know what color you were. Oh, you were black because it's the same name. I blundered my second queen, but I got another one and I made it up. All right, that's good. Something. Hey, you guys are funnier than me, which, is pretty easy, I guess. All right, 2,000 viewers a do. Invalid PGN. I can fix that. Actually, I'm going to get rid of the casual game part and fix it that way instead of getting rid of everything. All right, let me get rid of that. This is the part I think that it doesn't like. And then we'll move it on over. All right. I still haven't heard those 100 things yet, those subs. Casual. All right. Let's see if it works. It worked. Okay, the guy with black is the guy who hung 3 or 4 queens but won anyway. It's a casual game. Very casual. All right, I'll get back to the stream so I can see who's yelling at me. Manmoth will like this game, I'm sure. Right. That's right. Used to stream on Lee Chess. Why have you turned on them? I've never streamed on Lee Chess. I've never heard of Lee Chess. You guys got to be kidding me. Who would win a fight between Gretchen Whitmer or Yermolinsky with a shovel? I don't know. I guess even Yermolinsky, without the shovel, would probably win. Yes. Casual Texas millionaire. As long as it's casual. Yeah. Are you referring to the Sunny episode? Wow, that's a great scene. That's one of the top 10 scenes in Sunny in the limo. When he's throwing up all over her, and then Danny DeVito says, "Can I offer you an egg at this trying time? Hey, you want to go out sometime?" And then she runs out screaming. That's that's a great episode. Damn, very good episode. All right. Yeah, I don't think Lee Chess exists. All right, the guy with black sent this game. He said it was a casual game. Very casual. Okay, that hangs the E-pawn. Pretty casual, just free pawn. And white played D4. Most grandmasters would play bishop D6 here, I suppose, or E4. I guess E4. That seems to also hang the E-pawn. And this move hangs a piece. And instead of taking the piece, white played this check. Okay. And then white trapped his own bishop on the side. Yeah, Mammoth would like this game, except for one thing. Those moves were good. Knight F3, G3, bishop H5. Yeah, Rook G1's not good, because this is going to win a piece. Bishop takes F6 is nonsensical. Queen A5 check is the worst move played this game, and that's saying something. Wow, Queen A5 check. There are more games of chess than atoms in the universe. It's true. Wow. I wish Yasser was here to see Queen A5 check. Then he would understand why I am who I am. Then he would understand it all. All right. I mean, You got to take pieces. If you take this, you're threatening the rook, you're threatening the f-pawn, and you're threatening the bishop. Then you're killing it. Then you're the greatest player who ever lived. And by the way, I've been making fun of every move this game, but black made like one bad move. Right? You like hung your e-pawn, and the guy didn't take it. Okay, but your opponent, he's not playing good. All right, so queen a5. Now white's better, but now bishop c3 would be a really strong move. Really strong. They played it. Really strong. Excellent move. The Dusty Duke subscribed. Hooray! Bishop b4 is a good move. Okay, now white blundered. I don't understand why this is plus 5.5, but queen here's plus 5.5. I would think white's winning, but not 5.5. Damn, that's mean. That's a really mean move. Okay, bishop b2, that's bad. Taking is correct. a3 is bad. But it's not that bad. That's correct. That's correct. And black's better. It's funny, I was going to say bishop g6 is better than g6. And the engine says they're the same. It prefers g6. I would go here without thinking because my bishop's really safe. Here the bishop can be, sack the exchange. The pin is good though. b4, queen d8's the right move. Rook e5 is terrible because the rook's trapped in the center of the board. The rook should go back to safety or sack the exchange. You shouldn't play rook e8 because the rook is trapped here. The rook has nowhere to go. So you want to attack it with pawns and queens and stuff. Now, obviously, you not playing f6 is genius because never play f6. So I agree with that. But queen f6 would be good. The thing is, he can't play f4 protecting his rook because you take his queen. Okay. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We have a new worst move of the game. You played rook e8 attacking his rook and he played queen e2? All right, you take his rook. Yeah. All right, so now you're completely winning. Good. Good, 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 good. Whoa! We have a new worst move of the game. You attacked his queen and he ignored it. Good thing Manmoth's not here. Man, this is like when I'm playing you guys. I like this. Whoa, whoa. Queen takes b4 check? Oh, you said you blundered your queen. All right. Then you got a third queen. All right, good. I get that third queen. Wait, is queen a6 the best move on the board? No, queen a5 is, but that's hard to see. Mate. So, that game, there were a lot of blunders by both sides, but I think the guy with black is the guy who submitted the game. I think you're just a much better player than your opponent. Even though you guys make too many blunders, he makes a lot more. To get better at chess, you need to not give pieces away ever. So you gotta be more careful. And your opponent gave more pieces away than you, so you won. But both of you were giving pieces away. Don't do that. And also, you have to capture pieces. So for example, the recapturing, like in this position, this is a key moment of the game. Okay, your opponent took a piece, so your goal is to recapture. You got two ways to recapture. So you just can't play queen a5 check. You got to recapture. And here your opponent, played badly with bishop d2, but yeah. You did something good. You played c6, b5, trapping his bishop. So that was good. Yeah, but you're a much better player than your opponent. There's just too many moves that hang material. But someday you'll be a grandmaster. Then you'll make fun of me when I've been dead for 20 years. Yeah. There's just too many. You can't give pieces away. Never give pieces away. Magurika22 subscribed. Good, good, good. Manmoth is angry. That is correct. Yeah. Number 61. That's right. Now, that game reminded me of a game that I played. I want to say 7. I want to say I was 7. I don't know if I was 7, but I was about 7. I was playing at the Manhattan Chess Club, and there was a Blitz tournament. My dad took us to Manhattan to, I don't know why. Who knows why? Anyway, I remember playing Ron Henley, who was an IM or GM, nobody knows. And I remember every 4 moves, every 5 moves, I'd lose a piece. And about move 30, I had a king, and he had everything. And he mated me. I knew who he was. He's a famous player at that point. And I remember when the game ended, he said, "Good game, you played really well." I remember him saying that. And me thinking, what? I hung a piece every move. God damn. That was the worst beating I ever took in my life. Man, ever. And I talked to him about it later when I was like already an IM and better than him. And he said, I was probably just being nice. Truth hurts. Yeah. Hello, Matt W. Gifted a sub. Where's the 100 subs and the 50 subs and the 1,000 subs I've heard of? Where are these guys at? Terrible. What are my thoughts? No, Mike McDonald said, never mind. Yeah. He said, just kidding. Yeah. I got to figure out who Dan Smith was playing when I thought was the same rating as him. Because Federer Holt says he's 1,200. I thought he was better than that. All right, I don't know. Yeah, let's hand out some subs. How do I feel about Neil Gorsuch? Isn't he the, some kind of Supreme Court justice? What am I, Mark Feingold? I'm Ben Feingold. Let's see. Give me a sub. 1991, that's how many viewers we have. That's the year Spencer was born. That's his favorite number of viewers. All right, we still need like these 50 subs and 100 sub donations I heard so much about, but I haven't seen them. But I heard about them, but I haven't seen them. But I did hear about them. All right, go subs. Turkey sub, maybe. Now, I was thinking this yesterday when I was driving back from the stream to my home. I was thinking a lot of stuff about like these kinds of classes and stuff. So there's different levels of mistakes you can make. And some of the mistakes would be like H3, the engine says black is equal or better. A grandmaster would make that move. So we'll call it a mistake. And then black plays knight a6. And now the engine says white's better, and that move is bad, and we'll call it a mistake. Okay. When you make those mistakes, it doesn't matter very much. Because you and your opponent both make those kinds of mistakes in the opening and middle game. You make moves that strategically are not correct and don't improve your position very much. Sometimes they make your position worse. And if you had a chess coach and you had a chess lesson, they would explain to you, don't do that. That's bad. That's not a good way to play the open. Whatever. Okay. Then there's other kinds of mistakes where you're like, oh my God, my queen and such. Now, in this position, if you ask a chess coach, should I take this way or this way? Well, it depends who your chess coach is. Some coaches will tell you with the G pawn. Some coaches will tell you with the E pawn. Okay? Depends which coach you have. Right now, the engine says this is a little bit better than this. And I will tell you, it doesn't matter. What matters is you take the bishop. And I have a lot of students over the years, they don't take that bishop. And I'm like, what? Okay, and if you don't understand that, you can't improve your chess game. You have to recapture. You have to take pieces. You can't just not take them and say, well, and then give some nonsense excuse that doesn't make any sense. You can't do that. The analogy I thought of when I was driving home was, let's say there's pilots, airline pilots, airplane pilots, and one pilot is considered the best. He instructs the other pilots. When he's a pilot, he does everything better than everybody else. I don't know why. It's my story. Leave me alone. However, every 4-hour flight, because that's the number that I made up, for a minute, he flies the plane into the ground and crashes it, killing everybody. However, the other 3 hours and 59 minutes, he's the best pilot in the world. Okay? That pilot is not a good pilot. Okay? And the analogy for chess would be like Magnus Carlsen, he plays pretty well. Let's say Magnus is playing at his peak. He's playing better than everybody. He's on fire. He's seeing everything. He's winning every game. And let's say you played like that, you at home. Except for 3 moves every game, you play like here. You're like, I should have taken that. Okay, then after here, you play like Magnus for 20 moves. Okay, and then the next time it's time to be a lunatic, you play here. Okay, and then you play like Magnus the next 20 moves. Okay, then you play here, and the guy takes your queen. So for 3 moves a game, you're the worst player in the world, and for the rest of the game, you're Magnus. You know what your rating is? It's not good. It's like 900. Because when you make the worst move ever, that ruins the rest of the game. Okay? It's not like football. In football, if I'm the best quarterback that ever lived, and I'm up 49-0, and then I blunder, I'm up 49-7. That doesn't matter. Baseball, if we're the best baseball players in the world, and we're up 13-0, and then I pitch an easy one and you hit a home run, we're up 13-1. And I could continue with every sport in the world, basically. In chess, if you're Magnus Carlsen, or you're Leela, or you're Stockfish, and 3 moves a game, you're like, ha-ha, I hung mate and won. Ha-ha, I hung queen. You're 900 or 800 or 700. Okay? The reason is you can't do that. The only thing that matters in chess is you don't play the move e6 in this position. That's all that matters. And if you're like, my coach said this move is better than this move, I don't know why. And the answer is it doesn't matter why. What matters is you don't go here. That's what matters. And when I see games and both sides hang all their pieces, it's hard for the ratings to go up because it doesn't matter if they improve their chess if they're hanging pieces every move. And then Mammoth gets really mad. He's like, hang a piece every move. What is this? And the answer is, that's what most people do. And that's why if Magnus wanted to, he could win 1,000,000 games in a row against, people on my stream. And instead, he plays the top 20 players in the world and draws often and occasionally loses because that's more interesting and that's better for his chess. So when you hang a piece every move, you shouldn't be trying to play Magnus in a simul. Give Magnus a break. Let Magnus play a 2300 in a simul. Okay, like Kangaroo. God, that was hard to say. All right. Yeah, what MC Jurgle said, McJurgle, doesn't matter. Yeah, 2000. Yeah, if your moves are all nonsense, but you're really good at tactics, you never hang a queen, you never hang a knight, you never hang a rook, you never hang mate. And when your opponent does, you always see it. And your strategical positional play is suspect. You're 2200. There's actually a very good example of that. Very good example. And his name is, this isn't a joke either, his name is AMT Lin, Lin. Originally from Burma. Isn't it Myanmar? It'll always be Burma to me. And, let's see, should I say that? No. No, that's none of your business. Okay. He knows no opening theory and doesn't know the name of openings. If you told him you played the King's Indian, he doesn't know what you're talking about. And he's 2200. He's very good at tactics. And he's very bad at everything else. He doesn't know any opening theory. He doesn't know what positional chess is. He does know how not to hang his pieces and how to take your pieces. And because of that, he's 2200. AMT Lin. I think he went back to Burma. I think he did. He lived in Michigan for many years. He was a physics professor at University of Michigan. Yeah. Ali his name's Ali Lin, A-L-I. I don't know what the M and the T stand for. I always called him the machine because, you know, ATM. No. Yeah. Go Morphe. Right. If you guys are like, oh, I played in the center and I got my knights and bishops out and then I hung all of them, well, then you're 500. But if you're like, oh, I play on the side of the board and I play terrible, as long as you don't blunder material and you take everything, you're 2,200. So strategical and positional play don't matter a whole lot for your rating. And by the way, if you've seen chess hustlers on the streets or in the parks, trash talking, those kind of guys, you know what I'm talking about. You'll see them in Washington Square, DuPont Circle, what's the other place in New York? Bryant Park, Hart Plaza in Detroit. I could go on and on. North Avenue Park in Chicago, and everywhere else. Typically, those hustlers are pretty good at tactics. Pretty good, better than you. But they don't know any openings. Maybe they know one. They like one opening they play every game. And they can't name all the grandmasters. They can't tell you any important games that were played throughout the centuries. They can't think for more than 10 seconds a move. That's not how they play. And when they beat you every game, you get mad. You're like, in this 5-minute game, I'm better than my opponent at everything, and he always beats me. Well, he's better than you at tactics. He's better than you at tricks. And you know more opening theory than them. You know more classical games than them. You know strategic play better than them. But that doesn't matter. Play Blitz, and they take all your pieces, and you're like, where do all my pieces go? That's important. That's how you beat people. You take all their pieces. Frankly, everybody's terrible. And so on. Yay, 2,000 viewers. I saw them in a movie. Yeah, exactly. All right, now who donated 1,000 subs? It's time for another train, by the way. I haven't seen a train in a long time. Yeah. These hustlers don't have ratings. They just beat people all the time. AMT Lin is his name, Ali Lin. I mean, he probably doesn't, he's, a 2,200 player. He's not, not a grandmaster. All right. Yeah. Delete all messages. Crimson Order. I think this was an interesting start. I missed Bishop G2, Rook E1, Discord. Oh, discovered. Not paying attention. Was my strategy right? Rook E1 near the end. Okay, these are 1,500 players. That means, according to people on Reddit, they'll be grandmasters in a couple weeks. It's just that easy. And Crimson is playing Clover over and over. La, da, 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 da. That's interesting. Game drawn by reputation, it says. Time control, standard. All right, standard time control. I guess you were white because your name is Crimson Order. All right, get back to the chat and see who's yelling at me. Did I get invited to play? Oh, yeah, of course I did. Yay, hello, Matt W. Go, hello, Matt W. You can do it. Blurry Ben. No. Boo. I blame, society. I'm still blurry? How am I still blurry when I did this? I thought with my godlike GM powers that would fix it. Damn. Terrible. There we go. I need more godlike powers. Science has failed us. 2,000 viewers. All right. So White sent me this game, and he asked a lot of questions. So it's a QGA. Okay, still theory. Grandmasters play knight f3 here. I've never seen d5. I guess it's a move. I don't know. I've never seen it. All right, b5 seems like it's good. That seems okay. a6 seems okay. b4. Bishop b7. Yeah, that's not good. I mean, just play b4. No. Then when the knight moves, knight f6 attacks the pawn. And black's doing fine. That move I don't like. Now I like white because white's probably going to win this pawn and white's going to be up a pawn. Okay, knight c3 is good. Knight takes instead of pawn takes. I would have played pawn takes. Yeah, because I want to kill this bishop with my pawn. Yeah, pawn takes is better. Queen a5 check doesn't make any sense. All right, it's just bad. Man, you guys like moving your queen. And then you move your queen again. Queen d4. That seems to just lose immediately. Hey, and white won immediately. That's good. So black decided to move his queen every move out of the blue. Yeah, you can't do that. You got to not move your queen every move. White played perfectly here. Check, check, and takes. Always play bishop f8. Then this is the threat, and this is the threat, and white's up a piece. God damn. Okay, so he played here. He played knight b5. All right. Not the engine move, but all right, whatever. d3, Jesus. I'm not sure why white's not taking this and black's resigning. If you're just tuning in, Man Moth, go look somewhere else. I don't know, he's not taking on g7 and taking the rook. That's weird. Now he took on g7 now that the rook can move. All right. By the way, I want to tell you why both sides are playing so badly. Okay. So up until here, both sides played like they were human. Okay, then they just both went nuts. I mean, like insane. Black went insane because he decided to make one move threats and move his queen every move, and he forgot about opening principles. That happens to people. So he just moved his queen every move. Now, the reason white's playing badly in this position is white is not thinking about what he should do based on what the position is. He's just making moves that meet his opponent's last move. So, for example, in this position, white probably expected king takes knight, okay, which is not the best move. And when black didn't do that, and by the way, let's pretend you were black in this position. Let's pretend. If you don't see this or you don't care about it, either one, doesn't matter, and you have an option to take this or take this, why would you take a pawn instead of a knight? If you said to me, I didn't take this because I was afraid of that, well, then you wouldn't take this for the same reason. So black obviously didn't care about that, but I don't know why he didn't take a knight. So after this move, white was like, yes, he didn't take my knight, so I get to save my knight. And I'm threatening this pawn. Now this stuff, that's not happening now, so neither player's thinking about it. And, you know, if the players are just getting distracted by the last legal move. And that's why there's a saying, the spectator sees everything. The spectator walks into the room, looks at the position fresh, and says, well, that's good. And the players, they don't look at the whole position. I mean, weak players. They're just like, that was played, that attacks my pawn. That was played, this blocks the pawn. They're not like looking at the whole board. And eventually, after this, white sees his rook's bishop's attacked. So he moves his bishop here. By the way, if black didn't play that, white wasn't going to do that. White just did it because the bishop was attacked. All right, the game goes on for some reason. This bishop's attacked. So if you play knight f3, the guy takes your knight, and the bishop's not defended. But he played knight f3 anyway. So, yeah. And now he didn't take the knight. He played here. That's not good. All right, so white's still up a piece. And everything wins. Bishop takes g2 is fine. Yeah. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, white's just up a piece. And then he just walked into this fork. Sees his pawn's attacked, defends his pawn. There's a knight around. You don't want to get forked. If your pieces are on different colors, they don't get forked. Same color, they do. So rook d4 is a blunder, obviously. Now the game is a draw, it says. That's a terrible blunder. And this is typical. White just thought black's going to take this. But after here, rook takes h4 wins the whole rook. So then black's winning. So king e4 is a blunder. But he just took it. Now we're back to a draw again. A draw is the fair result. Still a draw. Knight b8. It's not where I would have gone. Yeah. All right. And drawn by reputation. Well, somebody should call the authorities and get a wellness check for Manmoth. Yeah, it wasn't the worst game yet. The problem is the players aren't taking pieces when they're offered. When the guy's hanging pieces, take them. But, okay, white made a very bad move in this piece-up ending, and black didn't punish him. He walked into this fork. And again, people sort of forget about the whole board when they're focused on one thing. So here, after rook h2, all white cared about was this pawn. So he played rook e4. Rook d4 is the only way to defend it. But obviously there's other pieces on the board and other things going on, so you can't do that. And then here, all black cared about was taking the rook. After here, rook takes would have won the rook for nothing. Yeah. Now, based on people on Reddit, if you can call them people, the players didn't play very well that game, so it'll take 3.5 years to become grand. 3.5. Yeah, people on Reddit are tough. They're like, if they played well, 2 years, but 3.5 years to become grandmasters. That's the way it is. What can you do? Oh. You're the greatest. Everybody's the greatest. Also, where's my train? Another train. Where's my 150 subs? What happened to those guys? Oh. 7 years, man. That's according to the people on Reddit. If somebody isn't born yet, it's 7 years to become a grandmaster, right? They'll be born. At the age of 2, they'll learn chess. At the age of 5, grandmaster. So typically, if you haven't been born yet, it's about 7 years until you're grandmaster. No. Typically. 2,112 viewers a do. Yay, very palindromic. Yeah. So much latent potential, that's right. Now, even though the people on Reddit are morons and, they're not even dumb enough to vote for Trump. They don't know what voting is. They're just like, what's voting? Anyway, and people on Twitter are slightly more intelligent, if that's possible. Even though there are people on my stream all the time. Hello, I'm 1773. I've been playing chess for 4 years. Do you think I could become a grandmaster? It's the same answer. Find items subscribed. Now, the answer is obviously yes. Anybody can become a grandmaster, but you have to start donating and subbing, and you got to start doing that. That's the first step. Nobody ever became a grandmaster without donating on Twitch, right? Now, Hikaru's a lot better than me, so if you went to Hikaru's stream and donated, that might get you to GM quicker, right? Maybe. You could try it out. Donate at some different streams and be like, chess isn't getting better. Let's try Ben. Like that. Maybe Hess. Yeah. Exactly. There's 1,700-ish grandmasters between 1,700 and 1,800. Yeah, and they all live in the Soviet Union. Damn. Russia has about 240 of them. Germany and the U.S. both have about 90. Germany's second. The U.S. is third. I'm 56. I joined a gym. You could be, yes, you will definitely be the world kickboxing champion very soon. I'm 1,800 FIDE. Can I make MM in the next 5 years? Yes. He says no in a very polite way. He says everything in a very polite way. But then when we're hanging out here, me and Bartholomew and Eric Rosen, the expletive is let fly. Bartholomew's like, that mother son of a, and I'm like, dude, calm down. Yeah. Does Germany have any super grandmasters? I guess no. Depends on your definition of super grandmaster. Also, Nadic and Isipiano, they change federation every week. So I don't know if either one of them plays for Germany or either one does. I think Nadic does and Isipiano doesn't. I don't know. They've both played for like 5 federations, so I don't know. Yusupov used to be a super GM, but now he's 175 years old. Georg Meyer's not a super GM. Yeah. Meyer's like 2650, 2640. Yeah. Something like that. Hans Niemann was German. Why would you think so? Oh, yeah, that's right. Vincent Kamer will probably become a super GM. He responded maybe. That's like being top 3 curler. Stuart Rachels was being interviewed by a reporter who didn't know anything about chess. He was like a newspaper reporter. And this was when he was like 15. And he said, I'm the best chess player in Alabama. And she was like, wow. And he said, whoa, whoa, whoa. Being the best chess player in Alabama is like being like the best hockey player in Idaho. And he wanted to, lower her expectations. Does Vatican City have a GM? What? Like 5 people live in the Vatican City. Yeah. Get to 600, yeah. Yeah. All right, back to whatever it is I was doing. Not sure what I was doing. Okay, that game was pretty good. Remember, the more you donate, the better the games are. Also, we haven't seen a train in a long time. Terrible. Knight d4 is a blunder. Everything is a blunder. Man, the guys are harsh. These are people commentating on Discord. Every move is a blunder. 2675 versus 1283. What? I played a GM in a 30-minute online simul. He was playing 20 players. At one point, he offered me a draw, which I declined. I was black. All right. I have to get rid of all of his nonsense so we can keep up the PGN information. Cool. So our hero is black. He's 1200, and he's playing a GM giving a simul. The GM is knee skins or something. I don't know. He skinned his knee. I don't know. Neek Sans. Something like sands in the hourglass, so are the days of our lives. Something like that. Let's get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that. Get rid of the first few moves. Those are all terrible. Hey, it worked. Hey, Mr. Jakobsen, heaven holds a place for those who resign. Hey, hey, hey. All right, so black is 1283 and white's 2675 on chess.com, which is like 2200 FIDE. All right, I've actually heard of this guy too. NM is legitimate because I said so, and my son's an NM. Go NM. 60 seconds of commercials. Oh boy, I can have some of this. Basil roll. Yeah. I feel like Sherlock Holmes with this basil roll. Have they heard of Basil Rathbone? Probably not. All right, well, that joke's not going to land then. How do I stay so young looking? Me? I don't know. I must have a really good camera or a really bad camera. Whichever's funnier. Sven Beingel knows what's up. Yeah, that Perrier. I wonder if Karen fell asleep. Again. She's not really commentating on the stream much. Let's see. Oh, she said goodnight an hour ago. Damn. Didn't notice that. My stream's too boring. All right. Well, what are you going to do? What benefits? I don't know. Extra blurry. That's how I look so good. All right. So Grandmaster's white in a simul against our hero. Okay, we have a French. B6, not a common move. The only time I've ever seen this played, Michigan expert Gary Kitts was playing Boris Golko in the 1986 U.S. Open in Somerset, New Jersey in round 1. That's the only time I've ever seen this move. Remember, when you're 1400, you can also remember games that you weren't playing, that were played in other events 34 years ago, and you'll be a GM in like 6 months. All right, I'm not a fan of that move, but Golko won pretty quickly. So I've never seen that move otherwise. All right, ED5, that's okay. The only thing better than ED5 is ED Falco, obviously. And the only thing better than ED Falco is Falco. And when I say that, it's a joke because ED Falco is better than Falco. However, based on the intelligence and tastes of the people who watch my stream, most of you probably like Falco more than ED Falco, which is a terrible take, by the way. It's terrible. What if they got married? Would she be ED Falco Falco, or would he be Falco ED Falco? Interesting. Nobody knows what day it is. Did you watch Abbott and Costello? Yes. Shirley Temple? No. Superman? Maybe. And or Little Rascals? No. Next question. Let's see. Falco with a snowman. That's funny. All right, back to whatever it is I was doing. I mean, it's an exchange French with this move and this move. Both those moves are bad. So they should feel bad. Game's pretty good, though. It's a castle here because rookie 1 check is going to make black do something he doesn't want to do. So that's not a good move. Yeah, I like playing king f8, but I wouldn't go crazy. All right, so white's doing great. That's a good move. White's just completely winning here. E6 is the best move, but this move also wins. No, white's just winning. Just winning. All right, now, here the Grandmaster giving a simul made a mistake. It's the mistake that we've been talking about the whole stream. Is like trading queens. I mean, bishop f4 is obviously the best move, because then if black trades queens, white's rook can come over here. It attacks the knight. If the knight moves away, bishop d6 is crushing. So queen takes queen is a silly move. You should definitely play bishop f4, attacking the knight, and the knight has to defend this. So bishop f4 is completely winning. Queen h5 is also a good move. White doesn't want to trade queens. So this is the first mistake from the Grandmaster. E takes f7 is also a mistake. This move I don't blame him for not finding. f4 is an amazing move. If you take en passant, then rook takes knight. If you move your knight, then f7 is hanging. So f4 is actually really strong. It's a really good move. Hard move to find. He took that. Rook d7 is good because if you take the pawn, then knight e6 check is a fork. So that's good. He found rook d7. Good job. Bishop d5 might be even better. Maybe. Rook d7 is good. Bishop f4 is good. Knight takes is good. Knight takes e4 is good. And then rook d4. Knight g5 isn't the best move. The best move is actually f3, but he's a Grandmaster, so he's never going to do that. So knight g5 is typical kind of move you would see. The idea is if you play rook takes bishop, knight e6 check wins the rook. Nice tactic. And now you can play rook g4, I guess. And you did. All right, and this should be a draw because black's bishop is so good. Yeah, white's not even better here. I would play bishop f3, but all right. And black plays for the win. He's our hero. He's 1200, and instead of playing bishop b7 and drawing a Grandmaster, he plays for the win. Although that move is a little weird. Well, now white's better because white's up a pawn. Black's compensation is dissipating. Still a draw. Better to have white. That's a mistake. You should play rook e8 and keep the rook out. If the rooks are traded, it's a dead draw. But if the rooks are on the board, white has good winning chances. And black can play, the rook can't stay here. The rook has to go back. Rook e8, if rook d6, rook e6, and so forth. Trade the rooks as a draw. And he played here. Now white has good winning chances because this rook is going to wreak havoc. Yeah, now white's winning. Always repeat. Good. Good job. Bishop f4 is a nice move. Now he's actually winning the endgame because all these pawns are fixed on the wrong color. So bishop c7, he takes all the pawns. It's no longer a dead draw. Bishop takes b3. Man, talk about falling on your sword. God damn. All right. So black was better, equal. Black was fine. Black was losing before that. Then as soon as he was drawing and fine, he declined to draw, played for a win. But I mean, bishop c, I mean, he didn't really do anything to win. Just basically just lost. But yeah, that's good you turned a draw down because then you got to see the good GM technique. And also, you learned something really important. In this position, it was super important to stop his rook from doing stuff to you. So rook e8 is the move. After here, you're in trouble. It's just random check. This keeps the rook out. So either white trades rooks and draws, or white gets his rook back here somewhere and he can't win. This is still a draw. There's just no winning chances here for white. There's nothing to do. White has 3-2 over here, but it's not really advantageous. And my king is better than yours. There's no way white can get a passed pawn here ever. So it's just a draw. So that was the key mistake, was not keeping his rook out. With bishop f3, now you're in trouble. And then a5 was bad because you fixed your pawns where the bishop's going to capture all of them. You want to have the option of a6, b5 later, if possible. Anyway, the truth hurts. You tried and you failed miserably. The lesson is never try. No, we're off Chess TV. Look at that. We just lost 1 billion viewers. Terrible. Yeah. Yeah, those online simuls are good. You can beat and draw IMs and GMs. That is pretty cool. I agree. Very nice. Etc. A rare game where I played a GM. That is rare. All right. Well, it's after 11. I shouldn't stop because there's like 1 million people watching, but I am tired. So maybe I'll talk a little bit and have some basil roll and see if we can get a train started and spill the sauce everywhere. It's funny, about 2 weeks ago, I don't know, about then, there was a band in town playing music. We don't go to that because, COVID. And normally when people call the chess center, we ignore it, but we were open Wednesday and Friday night. We just reopened for a couple of days. And the band called the chess club, said we're from out of town and want to play chess and, whatever. We come play chess. And we're like, all right. So they show up and we're not open, but we let the band in. And we're like, who are you and whatever. And they said they were the Average White Band. And I heard of them, they're a Scottish group. And I was like, oh, I know, some of your songs. So we went into there was a few of them. Went to the tournament room, and we figured like I'd play somebody and Spencer would play somebody and Karen would play somebody because there were like, 5 of them. We'd take turns. And the strangest thing happened. Throwing all the chess sets on the floor. I'm like, what are you doing? That's ridiculous. Pick that up. And they said, pick up the pieces. No, we're losing viewers. No. Pick up the pieces. Then there's this song that has to do with cake. Cut the cake. I mean, after cut the cake, I'm done. There's no way I can name a third song by them. No way. No way. No. I probably could have threw the cut the cake in there too. I could have said it was somebody's birthday, and then I would have said you guys want some, and they would have said cut the cake. Great joke. Great joke. Watching home is banned. The only reason he hasn't been banned yet is Kangaroo went to sleep. Don't ban anybody. Average white ban matters a little bit, not much. Oh. Phineas Gage 7 subscribed. Hooray! Go Phineas Gage. You're the best. A lot of people need banning, but we don't have to ban them now because I'm going to end the stream soon. All right, let's see what other game I can look at. Edited to perform to the rules. 15-10 game, blah, blah, blah. That's too many words. Let's see, we'll delete that. Always delete. Let's see, I'm proud of this game. My rating's this, his rating's that. Did it like this, did it like that, did it with the wiffle ball bet, so. You're on the run, the cop got your gun. I wonder if I looked at that game already. No, I didn't look at that game. I would have remembered it. All right, this will be the last game. It's Plek Trumura. My opponent was 1950 and I was 1800s. We both played great. Okay, you won, so I guess you were black. Getting confused here. All right, and then 1950-ish. And then PLEC, TRU, MURA, 1853.4. All right. It says the chess.com engine said we were both 97% accuracy. Although I don't know what the time control was, so I don't know. All right, back to whatever it is I was doing. After losing 1,000 viewers. Terrible. Nimzo Indian. Bishop beats D2 is a little shallow and pedantic. All right, so black already is doing quite well. All right, so white's just down a tempo in a normal kind of opening because he played bishop here, bishop here. Bishop B2 is not, very good. The engine wants to play bishop C3. I guess because if pawn takes, I have knight B4. Yeah, that's why. And it says it wants black to do this, and then play bishop C6. And, black has a nice position here. Yeah, I agree. I like black's position here. Okay, he played bishop D6. Also possible. Sort of a boring game. Black's better. Knight E7, bishop C6 is really good. Bishop's great here, defends this. The knight has good squares. Isolated pawn, and white has no initiative. So very good for black so far. Okay, that move just loses material. You could just take it, and then you can take here. And in this position, a lot of moves give black the advantage, like just taking. But black has this really sneaky queen g6 threatening mate, and then take the pawn with a queen, and black's just a pawn up for nothing. So mate's not easy to stop either. So that would have been what black should have done. This is just a tactical error because the bishop's not defended. That move's not good because you're giving the bishop away. Okay, now it's equal again. King h1, I don't understand. And I would just take this. This move's all right, I guess. This is about equal. Threatening queen h7 mate. b4 I don't like. This seems really good for black now. The knights are crushing the bishops. Excellent play by black. Knight takes in queen g3. Knight e3 is excellent. Threatening mate. And f4 is winning. Very nice. Very good play by black. I didn't like b4. I didn't like when white took this bishop, gave away his knight, because that was a good knight. And now my knight's just crushing your bishop, and the king is no good. And yeah, this attack is too strong. Mr. Hardbiz subscribed. Hooray! Very good game by black. Never play f3. Good move. Got the spite check in. Gave a piece away. I mean, white's getting mated here. So he has to give a piece away. And this is just easy win. The game has lost all interest. Technique suspicious. All right, and he mated him. So what did white do wrong? Bishop d2 is too passive. Rest of the game is reasonable until knight e5, which is a tactical error. And in this position, I don't like knight takes d6. This knight's really good. So that I don't like taking this, because these knights are just perfect blockaders, and the bishops can't do anything. And white had a very silly idea of playing for mate, which doesn't work. You know, so that's not how you get activate your pieces. You let these knights get in here. A lot of people do that. They just put their queen and bishop here and hope to mate. Then when they don't, they go, well. Yeah, and this is just really bad for white. White's position is really passive. He had the isolated pawn, but he never got an initiative. I wouldn't say that white played 97. Black played 97. White didn't play very well, in my opinion. Frankly, terrible. Anyway, good game for black. Good game to end the stream on. Nice game. Pretty good game. Sort of a slow, methodical, strategical victory, which we don't see very often, followed by some good tactics. Very suspicious, but good. The more you donate, the more I, tell you how well you played. No lying on the stream. All right, well, we didn't have a lot of trains today, or a lot of donations, or a lot of people, or a lot of anything. But, thanks for coming. That's a good Family Guy joke. There was an end of an episode where a Family Guy where Peter says, well, I guess our wives aren't as attractive or interesting as these other women, but I don't really know where I'm going with this, but thanks for coming. That's what he said to all their wives. I like that. Thanks for coming. Yeah, have a good night, have a good bishop, and Grandmaster in 3 months. Right, and that's the tough, yeah. Great stream today. Oh yeah, it was great. I've never been so happy. Succio Lucio is continuing the gift sub they gave from Cy Bradbury. Anyway, the chess is no good from me. My commentary is no good. But my mom's in a lot better shape. She went from the ICU to a regular hospital room. She can talk instead of being on a ventilator. She talked to me on the phone. She can open her eyes. So I guess the cure for my mom was me leaving. Because when I was there, it was all bad. And as soon as I left, she woke up and started cooking. That's a joke from Moonstruck. I think that's what happened in Moonstruck. The woman was dying and then she woke up and started cooking. I haven't seen that movie in 30 years. I don't know. But I think that's the joke. That's right. None of your money back. That is correct. Exactly. Yeah. Hooray for everybody. There's 1,300 people here, so I shouldn't leave. But I'm like not in the mood to analyze games because, analyze games for 3 hours. Tired of this. Who can we make fun of? Let's see. Yeah, I can't make fun of people who are streaming. Terrible. Yeah. Anyway, go Biden. Hooray. And by go Biden, I mean, become president, then go away and let, Kamala be president. That's what I mean. Terrible. Yeah, I really like Cory Booker for several reasons. One of the top 2 reasons was he's a vegan. He's the only vegan I knew who was running for president. It could be other people were vegans, but I didn't know about it. Got to vote for the fellow vegan. I mean, why not? Also, one good thing about Cory Booker is I can read you a list of names that rhyme with Cory. And I memorized the list. There's allegory, Montessori, unless I forgot the list. Yeah, I'm not an Andrew Yang fan, but I do like Andrew Dice Clay. Also, Andrew Yang didn't die, so you can't say R.I.P. Yeah. T-Bone. Yeah. 10-second chess for the crowd. Boo, boo. Wait, let's see. Allegory, Montessori. Was gory one of them? What was the list of words that rhymed with Cory? By the way, Rick and Morty sort of stole that joke. Sort of. Lisa's calling the Cory hotline, right? And then on Rick and Morty, Jerry's calling the Tabby. What was that guy's name? $1.99 a minute. Sometimes I'll call you. I forgot what the guy's name was. Tabby, Taddy. What was that guy's name? I mean, it's just like her calling Cory. Yeah, Taddy Mason. Yeah, I don't know. It's sort of the same. Same joke. All right. Yeah, I'll play some 10-second unrated with you bums. That sounds more interesting than leaving. I don't think we have a Discord. I think it's made up. Nobody's challenging me 10-second unrated, so maybe I was wrong. I'll just play 1 minute with people on my own rating and lose. That's always a good way to end this stream. You lose like 4 games in a row. There we go. Can't beat whatever I'm doing there. Yeah, I should have played knight f2 and won his queen. That would have been better. Oh well. I don't want to win the exchange, so I won't play knight g3. But yeah, winning his queen would have been nice. Probably should have done that. Terrible. Probably I'll win since I'm up a queen. I didn't say definitely. I said probably. All right. Yay, I'm the best at something. 1 mistake, 1 blunder. Papa John's, it says. Whoa, I didn't mean to. Damn it. I meant to play bishop e2 and I played king e2. King e2 is not as good. It's good, but it's not as good. It is good, so that's important. Whoa, I hung my bishop? Jesus. I was so interested in my king, I forgot about the rest of the game. All right, try to win this rook down endgame. Got a better king. Pretty good. Didn't play king g7. All right. He's playing really badly considering he's up a rook. However, he is up a rook. That is a problem. Pretty bad play for up a rook. I have no time. Where? Yes! I just had to say stalemate me, and you did. There were a lot of stalemates there. I almost accidentally took his knight. When the dust settled, it was even. Not sure about that. 3 mistakes, 6 blunders. But it was 76 moves. All right. I showed him. I just had to say stalemate me. There were so many stalemates here in this position. With his queen closer. Yeah. Yeah, I assume he had mate in 1 here. Yeah, queen here's mate. Yay, stalemate. So many stalemates in this position. Like, there's a lot. Like, half his moves are stalemate. Hooray, I'm the best. Or the worst or something. I'm something. That's all that matters. Yeah, Nigel said, why didn't you lose that game? He stalemated you. Yeah. I don't understand why I play 76 moves in a 1-minute game and my opponent has 8 seconds left. Who am I playing? Who are these people? Man, I understand what my opponent's initials stand for. I guarantee I'm right. I can donate $20 if you want to comment on a win I had tonight on the London system. Ugh. I'll give you $20 and don't make me commentate on it. Yay. Exactly. Poor guy. Yeah. All right. Thanks for watching and subbing and donating and training and, trying to bribe me. Good job, Fen Beingold. Yeah, I'll send you $20 so I don't have to do anything. That sounds fair. Let's see. Raid. Who am I raiding? I'm raiding you. Gotta raid somebody. Did I spell it right? Yeah. Yeah, hello. All right, so today's Tuesday. Yeah, so tomorrow I stream 8 to 11. All right, see you guys tomorrow.